Welcome to the inaugural season of Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball, presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. And now it's time for your Gresham Grey Wolves pregame show.
Hello and welcome into the Gresham Grey Wolves pregame show here at Osland Field. I'm Evan Giddings, coming to you live on the campus of Mount Hood Community College before the second game of our three-game series between the Kitsap Blue Jackets and your Gresham Grey Wolves. Now, last night the runs didn't come a whole lot in terms of the frequency, but certainly in terms of the volume, as we're just a couple minutes away here from first pitch. Supposed to be a 7:05 start here at Osland Field in the second game of this series, but like I was mentioning, the volume of the runs all came in one inning. A second inning, 6-run outburst by the Gresham Grey Wolves certainly provided more than enough run support as they cruised to a 6-1 victory over the Blue Jackets last night here in Game 1. Now, the victory pushed Grey Wolves back into a tie for first place in the South Division second half standings, along with the Yakima Valley Pippins, who have tonight as well as tomorrow night off. So an opportunity here for the Grey Wolves, should they be able to get a victory here tonight in the second game of the series, to go atop the South Division here in the WCL. And so we're going to take a quick break here. Going to be back with first pitch as well as starting lineups here in the second game of a three-game series between your Gresham Grey Wolves and the Kitsap Blue Jackets. Going to take a quick pause here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live as we get set for the national anthem, as lineup cards have been exchanged. So the ceremonial first pitch has been thrown, and we're set to go for the national anthem as we'll take a break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. I'm Evan Giddings. We're back with first pitch and starting lineups right after this.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement, your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum dum da da dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement, your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators.
Dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
Live from Osland Field at Mount Hood Community College, this is Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball, presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball starts now.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball. I'm Evan Giddings, coming to you here in Gresham, Oregon, on the campus of Mount Hood Community College at the always beautiful Osland Field as the Grey Wolves get set to take on the Kitsap Blue Jackets in the second game of a three-game series. Now, the Blue Jackets coming in are currently 5-14 after last night's loss to your Grey Wolves here at Osland Field. 5-14 in the second half, and overall on the season, combining both halves of the West Coast League play, are 13-33. However, your Gresham Grey Wolves coming into play tied atop the South Division here in the West Coast League standings in the second half at 11-5, and currently one game above 500 on the season, 22-21, as they were 5 games below 500 in the first half. So very impressive of them to reach the 500 mark. They were on the precipice for some time, but now have gotten above that at 22-21. Like I mentioned, they're currently tied for first place in the South with the Yakima Valley Pippins, who don't play over these next 2 days. So an opportunity here for the Grey Wolves after on the road dropped 2 out of 3 to the Walla Walla Sweets and fell by just a half game behind in second place to the Pippins, and now a chance here over the next 2 days against the Blue Jackets, who have struggled a bit in the second half, to come up with a couple of victories, possibly put themselves in first place. Now, the starting pitcher tasked with doing that will be the right-hander Spud Heidemann on the bump for the Gresham Grey Wolves. But first, let's get you the starting lineups here for the offense he will be facing in the Kitsap Blue Jackets. Leading off and playing third base will be number 6, Jack Stronach. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 7, Daniel Lopez. In fact, we had a late switch between the shortstop Lopez as well as the 3-batter Luke Stamfel. He's going to be playing second base as they swap positions up the middle right before game time. Batting fourth in cleanup, doing the DHing as well this evening will be Joey Galeno. So an identical first 4, as well as the 5-batter playing first base Martin Powells, followed by the 6-batter playing right field Justin Bundy. Batting 7th and playing center field, getting a first start in this series here, Taylor Adams, as the first pitch of the ball game is on the way, in for a strike here to Stronach, 0-1. Now rounding out the order, batting 8th will be Benny Calevahea, and batting 9th in left field, Alex Cheney. Calevahea will be doing the catching this evening as he did in the first game. And now a ground ball over to the right side, fielded cleanly by Jordan Barkis, on to first base in time, and there's one away here to begin the ball game. So defensively for your Grey Wolves, in the outfield it'll be Josh Adams in left. Making his very first start in center field for Gresham this season will be Curtis Perrin, and playing right field, the Cal product Jeff Mitchell Jr. Now in the infield, at third base will be Connor Zickafoose. At the hot corner, playing shortstop Dylan Doherty. Over at second base, the man just mentioned, Jordan Barkis. Over at first, it'll be Will Matheson. And the squat behind the plate will be Matt Cairo. And on the bump, that man Spud Heidemann, as he now fires the first pitch fastball in for a strike on the outside edge here to Lopez. Lopez showed bunt on that pitch, trying to draw Zickafoose, who is playing just a couple of steps back beyond the bag over at third in. And now the 0-1 on the way from Spud. Slapped off to the right beyond the screen here, 0-2. And so getting a different look here defensively for the Grey Wolves. Barkis over at second, and Perrin, one of the few utility guys to be able to play both the infield and outfield. Generally, we've seen some corner infielders, whether it be Ryan Rodriguez or Drew Curtis, going to play from first base to left field. As the 0-2 now on the way, slapped into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So Perrin will have to collect that one and play it in. And actually, I had a chance to talk a little bit with him before the ball game about that, as now Lopez is on with one out. And Perrin told me that he, in fact, had not played center field throughout his entire life. He got a chance to play in left field during the first half when there was some or not as much production, I should say, coming from the left fielder before Josh Adams came in and kind of settled and rounded out the outfield. Generally, the three patrolling, as now a sacrifice bunt attempt by the batter Stanfell is foiled. He fouls it off his foot there, 0-1. Generally, it's been a combination of Mitchell Jr. and Josh Adams switching between right and left field, and then, of course, Ryan Smith, who actually has the day off today, so Perrin filling in for him, who normally plays up the middle, second or shortstop. So Perrin barely, actually, in fact, almost got rid of his outfielder's glove that he was given to him by his university, going to Seattle University. Received an outfielder's glove as a part of being on the team, and in fact, because he had not used it up until this point, just a couple of seasons there, thought about, he told me, giving it away, but a good thing he's able to hold on to that for this summer as he finds himself making his first start. As now a chopper again off the front ankle there of Stanfill has him down on the count now 0-2. So we'll see how Perrin plays out there in center field. Wasn't necessarily non-confident in his abilities to patrol one of the most important positions, if not the most important position on the field. Certainly you have to be a vocal leader and take charge out there in center field. So we'll see how he does with that, and I believe he's going to do a pretty good job. Certainly an all-around athlete. Now we've seen him make plenty of plays on the infield. Certainly no trouble with any type of pop flies. In fact, throughout the season I've seen him make some ground-covering plays. Is now the 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball, ring him up on the outside corner. Strike 3 called as Luke Van Stamfel goes down looking. And Joey Galeno will now come to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on base. So that's Heideman's first K. Pitched very well in his last outing against Kitsap. That was in the first game of the series. Ended up getting the win as Gresham also got the victory, 4-1. And ended up plating 3 runs in the 8th inning of the first game of that series that came back in June. Now the runner on the move and the pitch. It's low. Throw down to second base from Cairo, and it is in time. Dylan Doherty applies the tag, and Joey Galeno will have to head back to the dugout. Doesn't even get a chance to see more than one pitch as Lopez is down on the caught stealing. 2-6 put out, and that will retire the side here in the first. Effectively facing the minimum is Heideman. So we'll head to the first here for the Grey Wolves, the home half of the first inning with Dylan Doherty, Connor Zickfus, and Mark Cardinale coming to the plate. We'll get you the rest of the lineup when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. No score after one half here in the first.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
And so now as we return to you here in the home half of the first, it'll be Dylan Doherty stepping to the plate for the Grey Wolves. He'll face the left-hander Jake Prezina on the mound for the Kitsap Blue Jackets. Now as for the Gresham's offense, he'll be followed by Connor Zickafus. Batting third is Mark Cardinale. Batting cleanup is Josh Adams, followed by him in the 5-hole Jeff Mitchell Jr. In the 6th spot, Will Matheson. Batting 7th will be Curtis Perrin. Batting 8th is Jordan Barkas, and rounding it out, Matt Cairo. Here's the first pitch on the way here from Prezina, is a fastball on the outside corner called strike 1. So Doherty, unfortunately, who's hitting and on base streak came to an end last night. We'll look to kickstart the offense here for Gresham. 13 games was his hitting streak before last night. It was ended. He had a 0 for 4 performance, although did have a sacrifice fly, so still was able to contribute to that 6-run inning as now he ropes this one down the first base side. It's going to be foul there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Also, I think, to me personally, more impressive was his on-base streak that unfortunately came to an end as well. 22 games in a row that Dylan Doherty had reached base for the Grey Wolves. Of course, all predominantly coming at the top of the order as he now swings through a curveball on the outside edge and down on strikes as the Gresham leadoff man here, 1 away in the bottom of the first. So Doherty goes down swinging as Przina has made quick work of the spark plug here for the Gresham offense. Now currently on the season, coming into play, Przina had thrown 38 1/3 innings, 24 strikeouts. I think that 25 now as Zickafoose will step in. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Ball 1 taken low. Has surrendered 14 walks so far this season, 35 hits. Hasn't collected a win since June 5th against the Bend Elks. As now he fires a fastball too far and low outside here, 2-0. A 2-3 record, 3.75 earned run average. And apart from one other starter, Przina actually second on the team with the most wins at 2. Jake Sudreth has 3 as his record is 3-3 as this one misses low here. Now 3-0 to Zickafoose. Also amongst qualified starters up there in ERA as well. Third best on the team at 3.75 is a 3-0 on the way. A fastball now taken for a strike here by Zickafoose for the first strike of the at-bat. So impressive considering a team ERA of 4.41 for the Blue Jackets as 3-1 on the way. Now check swing, fastball taken high, ball 4. So a base on balls here called by the home plate umpire Tim Courtney. We saw him out in the field as Tim Gerkman has replaced him, the 2-man crew here in the West Coast League. As defensively for the Kitsap Blue Jackets in the outfield, it'll be Alec Cheney out in left field, Taylor Adams in center field, Justin Bundy in right field. We saw him there last night, so the only member remaining of the starting outfield from the first game here at the series, as now Mark Cardinale, the DH this evening for Gresham, will step in. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball of the inside part of the plate, called strike 1. On the infield for Kitsap, it'll be Jake Stronach over at third, Daniel Lopez at shortstop, and Luke Stanfill over at second base with Martin Powell's holding it down over at first. We saw him make some nice defensive plays here last night. A couple of nice backhanded plays over on the right side. Is now a changeup, misses too far and low outside here, 1-1. Benny Kalevahea is behind the plate. And, of course, Jake Przina on the mound. Another beautiful day here in the city of Gresham, Oregon. Just a couple of clouds, if any, kind of scattered around, a little bit smoky and hazy. Is now pickoff attempt. They got him in a rundown. Zickafoose over to second base. The throw is low, skipped past the shortstop, and Zickafoose is in. We'll see what the official call is, and it's going to be a stolen base. So stolen base for here Connor Zickafoose, and can't recall too many times throughout this season when he's able to show off the speed, but nonetheless done so here. In fact, just the second stolen base for the Gresham third baseman on the season. In his 29th game, also has been caught stealing once. So that possibly might have been a hit and run attempt there put on by the third base as well as head coach Justin Barkas. Looked like it was going to be a play gone wrong, or an execution play gone wrong, as the pickoff attempt was a good one, but kind of slow from the left-hander Przina. And with Zickafoose going on first move, able to hustle his way into second base. And in fact, the throw was low, but I'm not sure it would have beat him had it been on target. And so now a 1-1 count here with a runner on second base as Zickafoose takes his lead, and Cardinale slaps this one off to the left and out of play, foul here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cardinale entering the game, batting .284, just over 100 at-bats, now 102. 103 if you're going to count this one here shortly. 29 hits so far, 8 runs scored. A total of 9 extra base hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples. Both of those came, in fact, in one game against Kitsap, as now he'll fight this one off, staying alive here, back off the screen. Count remains 1-2. Had a 4-for-4 performance, I believe, in the second game of that series. The Gray Wolves got a W in the first two, ended up dropping the third one and 1-0, an extra inning ball game where they held Kitsap, in fact, to just 2 hits. But unfortunately, the Blue Jackets were the ones that came out victorious, getting a 1-0 victory in the bottom of the 10th inning. So Cardinelli trying to stay alive. Here's the 1-2 now on the way. Fastball, hard ground ball up the middle, and botched by Lopez. Able to recover, though. Throw on to first base, and it is in time. He went up the box, kind of took a funny hop up around the midsection of Lopez as the ball dropped out of his glove, but was still able to recover and make a strong throw with his momentum going towards the outfield. So an excellent play there from Lopez to get Cardinelli by half a step, and there's now 2 away. As Zikafus will move up to third base, and now Josh Adams will step to the plate. So 3 lefties in the first 4 batters here against Brzezina, as Barkas having confidence in his offense to beat the lefty-lefty matchup, as now Adams steps in, and a little tapper right in front of home plate. Couldn't have gone more than a foot. Picked up by Calevahia. He throws it on to first base, and Adams and the Gray Wolves are retired here in the top or bottom of the first. So probably the shortest out he could have recorded, as it tapped right off the home plate. And Benny, the catcher here for Kitsap, able to pick it up and make the out. So that'll conclude the first here at Osland Field. We'll head to the second with Galeno, Powells, and Bundy coming up when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live. No score after 1.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so no score here as we enter the second inning. Spud Heidemann back out on the bump for the Gray Wolves for his second inning of work. And he will face the DH for a second time already in this ball game here, Joey Galeno, who takes first pitch swing, smacks one down the first base line, just inside the line, going to get fair. Over to pick it up in right field is Jeff Mitchell Jr., now throwing his hands up as the ball kicks into the ivy. Galeno will keep on running onto third base and will likely head home, but I believe a ground rule double will be the call here as the home plate umpire, Tim Gerkman, has to hustle down the right field line. Quite a ways to go, but I believe this one will be coming back, if you will, as Galeno likely will have himself a double here to begin this inning. So finally Gerkman out around that 330 line, and Mitchell Jr., who is certainly familiar with the confines of the ballpark here, especially down the right field line in Osland Field. And now 2 bases is the official call. Gerkman out there, now the 330 sign, kicking around trying to find the ball, but now finally lost as it kicks out of the ivy. Mitchell Jr. retrieves it, but nonetheless ruled a ground rule double here to begin the second for the Blue Jackets. So Galeno certainly must have used what he saw in the first at-bat against Heidemann. In fact, only saw one pitch, actually, as Daniel Lopez took off on the first pitch of the at-bat. Galeno took it high and outside for a ball, and Matt Cairo fired a strike down to second base to catch Lopez stealing. So a nice defensive play for the backstop here for Gresham to end that first inning. But unfortunately, Galeno with a look didn't waste much time here. Had already seen one pitch, didn't need any more, as he has himself an extra base hit here to lead off the second. So now Martin Powell's the first baseman playing tonight for Kitsap, will step in. First pitch on the way from Heidemann, now in the stretch, and it's ground ball over the left side, and a nice one-handed play there made by Matt Cartwright, the third base and head coach for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, similar to the way that our own Justin Barkis mans both of the positions. And in fact, I believe all around the West Coast League, that's kind of how it is. The head coach also serving the third base coach duties, giving signs, and trying to control the field from actually being on it. As now the 0-1, breaking ball over the outside corner. Called strike 2 here. Down to the count is Powell's, as Spud Heidemann certainly going to be in and around the zone tonight. On the season, in fact, Heidemann has only walked 12 batters through 39 and 2/3 innings. Has allowed 44 hits and only has 16 strikeouts. He's now buries a slider, swung on and missed. Make that 17 there as Heidemann gets his man. Powell's is down on strikes for the second strikeout this evening already through just 2 innings so far. As that's the first out here in the second, and Justin Bundy will now come to the plate. Now, I talked about it a little bit earlier in the first inning of this broadcast, but Heidemann actually had a very good outing against Kitsap back on the 29th. Through 7 innings, only allowed 1 earned run, only allowed 3 hits, as he now fires a slider and a check swing there by Bundy. The appeal to the field umpire, and no, he did not go, says Tim Gerkman. So that's called for ball 1, 1-0. 7 innings, 1 run ball, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. In fact, that was his season high. So something about this Blue Jacket offense, Heidemann coming into this game sure must have been licking his chops, as he'll check the runner on second. Now fires a fastball, the 1-0 outside. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Bundy. Now, so far in this series, the Kitsap Blue Jackets have yet to muster much. They ended up getting 1 run in the 8th inning last night. But that was all that the Grey Wolf pitching staff surrendered. Donovan Ramirez, the starter, ended up going 6 shutout innings as the 2-0 now catches the outside edge, a fastball right on the corner, and it's 2-1. Bundy, the right fielder, we saw him last night as well. He went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The batting average now at just .042. So certainly struggling since coming on for the Blue Jackets, as he now swings and misses on a fastball a bit off the plate there. Probably chased ball 3, but instead will even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So no score so far here in the top of the second inning. 2 hits so far for Kitsap, none for Gresham. They ended up getting a runner on third, did the Grey Wolves, in the bottom of the first inning in the form of Zikafus, but unfortunately left him there. Now is the 2-2, chopped on and fouled off to the right side. So the count will remain. Doherty holding the runner on at second. Barkis certainly playing Bundy to pull, more near the first base gap in between first base and second base, so kind of the 4.5 hole. We'll see if he goes to an off-speed pitch here. Cairo set up outside, now a fastball sprayed into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. The runner on second had to hold up as he thought the line drive might have been caught, so he'll only get to third base as Curtis Perrin plays that ball in. But nonetheless, a couple of base hits in this inning, a double and now a single here with 1 out, have runners on the corners. And Taylor Adams will now step in. Adams, the beer batter here tonight, he has had a bit of a struggle in that category so far this season. Coming in, I believe has struck out 33 times. Good for second, tied for second most on the team. Also batting just 135, 10 hits through 74 at-bats and 36 games played here for the Kitsap center fielder. So now a couple of signs relayed from the backstop Cairo out to his infielders just in case something should go on here with the first and third situation. Now 1 out, first pitch on the way, fly ball into deep right center field, giving chase is Perrin as well as Mitchell Jr., and it will be gone. This one gets over the wall there in right center field, an impressive opposite field home run there for Taylor Adams. First pitch, and he did not miss it. That one I thought was going to be at the most a double, but just kept on carrying. And if there's a time to do it here at Osland Field that has been notoriously known as a pitcher's park, it's earlier in the ball game before the sun sets. So just like that, 3-0 here in the top of the second. Kitsap has the lead over your Gresham Grey Wolves. 1 swing and 3 runs produced as both Bundy as well as Galeno comes in to score. As now Benny Calivahea will step to the plate. 1 out, nobody on base as that cleared him. A 4-bagger there off the bat of Taylor Adams. His first home run of the season, just 7 now on the year for the Kitsap offense. There's now a long pause here from Heidemann as Calivahea was getting some sort of signs. Now has his helmet up. Interesting in the first at-bats. Not ready to come to the plate, but nonetheless will regroup, readjust the batting gloves. Finally now stepping into the right-handed box. So Heidemann going to have to refocus here. First pitch on the way, and it's a breaking ball in for strike 1. No, actually the last time out when Heidemann got the start against Corvallis on the 22nd, I remember writing down in a key to the game, especially for Spud, was to keep the ball in the ballpark. Now, has only allowed, I believe, a total now of 7 extra base hits, but 4 of them have been home runs as this check swing on a fastball called strike. He did go around, says the field umpire Tim Gerkman, and it's 0-2 here to Calivahea. So that's the 4th home run given up now, most on the team. He was tied at 3 with Benavides. And now gets an 0-2 foul off to the right. Here's Calivahea, just got a piece of it. Heidemann coming into this start with a 4.08 ERA, making his 7th start on the season, 8th appearance for the Grey Wolves. A 4-1 record, and that 4 wins is best on the team. Now we'll have some work to do here, fighting out as the 0-2 pitch on the way. Grounder over the left side, cut off by the third baseman, Zick Foose. He lines up and throws it on to first base in time for the second out here. So a 5-3 put out as there's 2 away, and Heidemann will try and not allow any more base runners to reach at this point. The 9-hole hitter and the left fielder for Kitsap will step in. Alec Cheney. There's already 3 runs have come across, and that is the score we have so far, 3-0 on 3 hits for Kitsap. As the first pitch on the way to Cheney is a slider on the outside corner called strike 1. A couple of those home runs came back on July 12th, but as well as June 15th, as this one is hit hard, deep to left field, over the head of Adams. That's going to one-hop the ivy out there and left. Adams will pick it up and play it in, but not before a 2-out double here off the bat of Alec Cheney. An impressive drive as a fastball caught too much to the plate there from Heidemann. And an extra base hit for Kitsap, trying to kickstart something here with 2 outs. They've already got 3 and looking to get more. It was the second inning last night where Gresham scored 6. And not to say that the Blue Jackets don't have the firepower to do it. But against a guy like Spud Heidemann, who's been pretty consistent throughout the entirety of the season. In fact, those 2 home runs that he gave up to Victoria on the 15th of June as well as July 12th, those were his 2 worst starts, where he gave up 6 earned runs in both of those. Apart from those poor outings, he's really been quite the best starter for, or arguably the best starter for Gresham. Is now a ground ball over to the first base side and kicked off the glove of Matheson. An easy play as he came in, and some sort of funny hop must have got to him. Another Osland Field special, as that's clearly going to be an E3 there, allowing the leadoff man Jake Stronach to reach. So that'll extend the inning as Alec Cheney will move up to third, 90 feet closer to home plate, and hopefully will not come across. Now the Grey Wolves certainly know what it's like to be down in a game. We've seen them come from behind multiple times. In fact, once against Kitsap in the first game of the series, they were tied at 1, down at 1 point. Ended up plating 3 in the first game of that series in the later innings. I believe it was the 8th, and ended up getting a 4-1 victory. So now the first pitch on the way to Lopez, a breaking ball on the outside corner. Heidemann places it well, and it's 0-1. Lopez already with 1 base hit so far tonight. In the first inning of this ball game, was caught stealing to end that frame, however, thrown out by Matt Cairo. So now the backstop for Gresham. Sets up inside, a long hold by Heidemann. Finally fires as this slider is belted out to deep left center field. Giving chase is Perrin, and he will not be able to get it It kicks up around. He has trouble with it. Finally able to get it back in. They're going to wave the runner all the way from first. Throw coming in from Doherty, and it is not in time. Cairo now throws it to third base as they got Lopez in a rundown, and Zikafu simply going to run it up and tag him for the third out of this inning. But not before another 2 runs come across. Alec Cheney from third easily walks home, and hustling all the way from first base, Jake Stronach goes big time all around from first base, scores. That's 5 runs in the inning as Lopez is retired. So now in the home half of the second, the Gray Wolves have certainly some work to do. Mitchell Jr., Matheson, and Perrin will return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live. The score now is Kitsap 5 and Gresham nothing.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now we come back here in the bottom of the second inning. Jeff Mitchell Jr. currently down on a 1-0 count here against the left-hander Jake Brzezina on the mound for his second inning of work, and now fires a fastball over the outside edge, 1-1. Now the Gray Wolves had a tough top half of the second inning. A total of 5 hits there alone off the arm of Spud Hyden as Mitchell Jr. slaps this one down the right field line. Going to get out of play here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5 runs as Joey Galeno, Justin Bundy, Taylor Adams, Alec Cheney, and Jake Stronach all come through. 5 runs, only 3 of them earned, however, as in air with 2 outs from the glove of Will Matheson, the first baseman, as now this changeup misses too far outside here, 2-2. That allowed Jake Stronach to reach to extend the inning, and then the next batter, Daniel Lopez, had a 2 RBI double out to left center field before eventually being thrown out on the play. Coming back into the infield is now Mitchell Jr. will stay alive. Chops one off to the left. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Mitchell Jr. getting the start. His 38th start of the season, 133 at-bats, only trailing Ryan Smith, who has the night off, and deservedly so, as what I'd like to call the Ironman streak of the West Coast League has come to an end, as Mitchell Jr. now chases a fastball up and out and down on strikes. So the Gresham right fielder is down for the first out here in the bottom of the second, and now Will Matheson looking to atone for his mistake, a costly mistake, costing the Gray Wolves 2 runs there in the top half of this frame. Will step in looking for a base knock. Matheson hasn't seen a lot of time in the field. Early in the season, got a couple looks at third base as he now takes ball 1. However, as of late, has really only seen action as a DH and over at first base. Up until that last inning had been very defensively sound as he now pops this one up. A high fly ball drifting into center field. Now camped under is Adams, and he'll make the catch quickly 2 away. Anyways, but like I was talking about Ryan Smith, the Gresham center fielder, his Ironman streak will come to an end. He's not in the starting lineup for the first time since June 20th, so 30 games in a row started by the center fielder Ryan Smith, or the typical center fielder, I should say. Curtis Perrin out there patrolling tonight. However, in that game, he still technically appeared. He got a pinch hit at bat, as now that man, Curtis Perrin, will step to the plate and take ball 1 inside. Actually, Perrin familiar with this left-hander, Jake Brzezina. They're both teammates up at Seattle University. So surely some bragging rights on the line here as the 1-0 up and inside. He'll have to lean out of the way of that one. And a long look down to the pitcher, and likely, at least the way he described him, certainly a friend. As now the southpaw kicks and fires a 2-0, and too far outside here, 3-0. Perrin filling in for Ryan Smith, making his first start in center field, and that may be something that will play further along down the stretch of these last couple weeks for Gresham, to be able to give Ryan Smith a day off like this, as they've taken 17 of 19 in a row. That's the last final stretch beyond the All-Star break. So after the All-Star break is now Perrin takes ball 4 here inside. We'll head on down to first base with 2 outs. After the All-Star break, up until the end of the season, 17 games in 19 days. So Barkis looking for an opportunity to sit one of his mainstays in the lineup. And got an opportunity here against Kitsap. Is now playing second base where Perrin normally is patrolling is number 5, Jordan Barkis. Another lefty on lefty here is another pitch too far up and in. Bends out of the way of that one. And now the catcher, Kaleva here, will go out and have a chat with his battery mate. Now also when I was looking through Smith's game log as to see the last time when he didn't play, it certainly came very far along back in the season. The only time I can really point to was up in Kelowna during a 3-game series, I believe the 19th before the game against Yakima Valley. He didn't play in that game, so really that's one of, I believe, 43 games so far this season, or check that, 42 games, so 43 total. One of 43 games he has not played in. And this is marking the second one so far as a pickoff attempt over to first base, not in time. So now Przina, a long look in, finally kicks and fires. High leg kick there as he places a fastball just off the outside edge. Kaleva tried to frame that one but could not get the call as the count runs 2 balls and no strikes. So Barkis, who pinch hit last night, and I believe it was the bottom of the 8th inning, got a base hit, but will not get one here as he pops one up high onto the infield, calling for it as a second baseman, Stanfill, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. So stick along with us as coming up in the top of the 3rd inning, we'll have a special guest here in the booth, Carter Book. When we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live, it's Kitsap 5 and Gresham nothing.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now coming back here in the top of the 3rd inning, 5-0, the Kitsap Blue Jackets lead your Gresham Grey Wolves. And a special guest here, Book in the Booth section, as left-hander Carter Book from Linfield College joins us again. How's it going?
Not too bad. Nice looking day. Good ball club going on today. Feel like we need to get a series win, so we're looking to get a sweep.
Certainly so, and unfortunately down 5 runs, and something we were talking about at the break, the fact that you guys were able to put up 6 in the 2nd inning of last night's game. I guess Kitsap kind of dishing it back out here tonight, scoring 5 of their own.
Yeah, that's kind of how baseball goes sometimes, where sometimes the baseball gods are smiling down on you, sometimes they aren't. I mean, Spud's making good pitches, but kind of run into one with that home run ball where even that guy didn't even think it was going out. So, that's kind of baseball, but I think we got the hitters to rebound to bring us back, and I know Spud's going to shut them down from here on out.
And so it'll be Luke Stamfield, Joey Galeno, and Martin Bowles up to the plate here, 3-4-5, the heart of the Kitsap order, as Heidemann is finished with his warm-up pitches, prepares to fire from the windup here. Defense playing straight up as so far in the night, Luke Stamfield 0 for 1, struck out looking on 3 pitches in his first at-bat. Will at the very least get one more than that as he takes ball 1 here outside. Now, actually, something I was looking up here, Carter, in terms of the second game of the series, because, of course, we have some splits for our team as well as theirs, as this one is roped back up the box, going to get in for a single. And another good pitch there from Heidemann. It looked like, in fact, off the plate, but still able to go get that one. Kitsap is actually 8-6 in the second game of a series, which is interesting considering that's over half their wins.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know they're not having that successful of a season. So, I guess, some teams, they tend to take the team at the bottom of the league lightly.
Yeah.
They'll come out, win that first game, and then think they're going to come back and dominate the second game. But as they've proven, that's not always the case. It just goes to show you got to focus up every single game and play every game day in and day out with all you got. But even then, no team in this league is a bad team by any means. Everybody's got top guys. So
of course, yeah, anyone can be beaten on any given day.
Exactly, yeah, and I think that kind of shows our success in the second half, where even if we weren't a successful team in the first half, we've got the guys and the talent, just like any team does, to make a run at the thing.
Yeah, certainly is. Now a 1-1 count here to Galeno with a runner on first base and nobody out. And Spud, at least so far this season, it seems like he has had a bit of trouble at least keeping the ball in the ballpark, especially here at Osland Field. And do you think that that's just a case of, like you said, guys running into one? Because it seems like he's making good pitches, but just unfortunately some barrel, at least throughout the season. I believe now he's given up 4 home runs.
Yeah, with the dimensions here at Osland, it makes it a little tough for pitchers. It's only like 375 to dead center, and Spud's a very talented pitcher. He mixes things up well with the fastball and a really good changeup. But unfortunately, all it takes in this league is just to leave a changeup a couple inches up, and that results in a 3-run home run, which isn't exactly ideal. But that's just how it goes sometimes. That's baseball. But you just gotta keep trusting your stuff and think about the next pitch. So even if you do give up a home run, you gotta be worrying about getting the next guy out, because that's what you can do to help your team.
Yeah, definitely is. Now the 3-1. As Heidemann working from the stretch now, kicks and fires. Fastball roped into center field, giving chase his Perrin, now having to back up on it, and it is caught. A leaping grab there by Curtis Perrin, almost getting over his head, and maybe the case of Curtis not being as familiar with the center field position almost hurt him there, but still able to recover for the first out of this inning. Now, actually, I talked to Curtis before the game, and he said not only is this his first start playing center field, I believe he came in during the middle of a game during the summer and also played left. But this is actually the first time he's starting in center field in his life.
Yeah, I know. We've talked together about that. Usually he's a second baseman. He said he was going to most likely have the starting job at Seattle U this spring. But, he's one of those guys where he's a very talented athlete, very talented baseball player that can play all over the field, as he shows with that kind of acrobatic catch right there. But, still, he's got a great attitude about everything. He wants to do whatever he can to be on the field and get some extra at-bats. And, with his ABs and with his on-base percentage, that's something you need in the lineup every single day. So for him to be able to come in and play when Ryan Smith's got a sore shoulder is big for us.
Now, is that something that was a result as a backhand pick there by Cairo? Is able to keep the ball in front here. Now 1-1 to Martin Powell's. Is that something that stemmed from the 2 hit by pitches last night? Because I believe the last time he actually came out of a ball game was due to a hit by pitch.
I'm not exactly sure. I think he started playing catch and was warming up, and it was just bugging him a little bit. And he's an everyday starter. I'm sure he started 99% of all our games. So you got to give a guy like that who comes in and plays his all, or gives his all every single day, a break once in a while. It's only natural that your arm's going to start bugging you after however many games we've played this season. We got to be around 40.
Yeah, actually 43, as this one is swung on and missed here, 1-2 to Powell's. And that was something I looked up as well, kind of a an Iron Man streak, if you will. Up until this point, had only missed one game, he'd played in 42, had started 41, but actually the one game that he didn't play earlier in the season, he pinch hit, so still was able to play, and like you said, provide production.
With talent like that, you got to keep him on the field however you can. Oh.
And now a double play here, a line drive right to the third baseman, Zikafus. He turns and fires at first base, and a nice pick there from Matheson, able to get the runner Stanfield going back to first. So that will retire the side. We're going to have you from the bottom half of the inning, am I correct?
Oh, yeah, we'll be here.
Perfect. All right, Carter Book will stay with us, and so should you here when we come back in the bottom of the third inning here at Osland Field. Due up for the Gray Wolves. It'll be the bottom of the order, Cairo, followed by Doherty and Zikafus here on Gresham Gray Wolf Live. It's still 5-0, Kitsap.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every month.
And so now as Matt Cairo will step to the plate here against Jake Berzina. First pitch swinging, lost one out into left center field. Playable there for Cheney as he'll come in and make the catch here, one away. In the booth, here, Carter Book, I should say, almost tongue twisted myself there.
It's okay. It's a weird name. I get it a lot. It's okay.
Yeah, lefties are weird in general. Now, actually, something last night after the postgame, I was conducting an interview, and starting pitcher Donovan Ramirez got dunked on. And I figure as someone who always enjoys to play around off the field as well as on, you could kind of take us through what was going on there, and is that something that's been going around the team?
Yeah, well, Michael Clark and I have been looking around at buying a little basketball hoop for postgame interviews to, start posterizing people.
Okay.
So it's called, the postgame poster.
That's good.
But, I mean, obviously we like to joke around, have a lot of fun. Just so happened we caught it on camera that time, but a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes too that's probably not really appropriate for post-game interviews, so I was happy that we kept it PG for the interview.
Well, and I was actually glad we were able to cut that up in kind of like a Vine
cool.
7-7 segment,
really cool.
and that looked pretty good.
I was watching that all morning on Twitter because I don't do anything with my life besides watch Grey's Anatomy in the mornings, so that's pretty much what I did all day.
Yeah, and I got to give it to Gabe Benavides. He's got some ups.
I know he does. Well, I've been, we've been trying to get a big 5-on-5 game.
Okay.
Because Will Matheson.
Oh, yeah.
He was number 2 player in the state this year for high school basketball.
Oh, really?
And I mean,
I tell him
all the time that I'd break his ankles, even though I know I wouldn't. But so, I mean, yeah, everybody, we like to have a good time, and everybody's a big basketball fan, so we keep it light.
As for also something I've kind of noticed you guys have doing on the topic of keeping it light here, 1-2 count to Doherty, sprays this one foul to remain the count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. In terms of keeping it light, it seems like when you guys get here and before batting practice gets going, you guys have sort of a pitchers only infield tradition or drill that you guys do.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I mean, every pitcher growing up, especially every left-handed pitcher wants everybody thinks they can play shortstop, so we've started to have a little competition to see who actually can play. I cannot. I'm atrocious.
Yeah, I've seen you over at the hot corner a couple times.
Oh, definitely lost a step or two. But I mean, we kind of like to mess around like that. We do pregame hugs Everybody hugs everybody before the game. That's our whole team pregame ritual. Everybody's got handshakes. It's a good time.
It also seems like your counterpart Clark is the guy that kind of gets up in the middle of the huddle right before you guys take the field.
We make sure to huddle up and we just yell random things at each other. My go-to line is sports, so I just look everybody in the eye and say, "Hey, let's have good sports today." But it's a lot of fun. Everybody's really close group. Good times.
And Doherty went down on strikes, so 2 outs here for Zickafoos, an 0-1 count, and now has managed to tap this one off the end of the bat, picked up there by the on-deck batter Cardinale here, 0-2. So a lot of stuff you guys do, certainly from a bird's eye view, looks fun. Is there something in particular that you individually hang your hat on?
I like to think I hang my hat on a couple things. On the pregame hugs, that's my biggest contribution to the team. I feel like obviously when you throw 83, you don't make that big of a contribution on the field. So I got to work on making my contributions with jokes and team chemistry and stuff like that.
Well, you certainly seem to do a good job coming out of the bullpen. As now Zickafoos grounds one, booted off the second baseman there. Stanfield can't keep it in front as it skips into right field, so that's going to extend this inning a little more. Is that right there what you look like on the infield?
I think he even looked a little smoother than I did. At least he got a glove on it. If that's me, I'm just completely whiffing it.
Now I've heard in terms of the athletic activities that your pitchers are allowed to do, whether it be pitcher's beeps or fielding ground balls, Michael Clark really thinks highly of himself in those areas.
Clark talks a lot of smack, but I haven't seen him back it up too much. He's a good fungo hitter.
Okay.
That's really his biggest contribution. He's a good fungo hitter. Not much of a jump shot. But the kid's got a golden arm. Can't teach that.
No, you can't.
You can't teach 93.
Cardinale now steps to the plate in an 0-1 count here with a runner on first base. As Prezina now comes set. Long hold. Now kicks and fires as this one is slapped over to the right here. No balls and 2 strikes here to the Gresham DH. Now, would you say that Clark is the best fungo hitter? Because I've seen a couple of guys cycling in and out. One I know that has struggled a little bit personally, I think, would be Ramirez.
Oh, yeah. We make sure to let Donnie know that he's a very good fungo hitter. I mean, when you're wearing 2 batting gloves, I think you kind of lose some respect. But I mean, to be fair, you can't stop blisters.
That's true.
I would say it's up between Spud and Clark for being the best fungo hitters.
Okay.
But unfortunately for Clark, he's not the best 2-ball player.
I've heard that from – we had Chris Brown and Aaron Schaub up here in the booth, and they talked about that.
Yeah, Clark's a pretty soft 2-ball player. So he usually – so when we play 2-ball before BP, the first 2 out are on bucket. So Clark's ended up on bucket a lot lately.
Okay, as now the 1-2 here gets away from the catcher, Clevahea, and that will allow Zickafoos to get down to second base on the wild pitch. So an error now, a wild pitch, puts Zickafoos in scoring position here for Cardinale in a 2-2 count. As the Grey Wolves find themselves down 5-0 here so far in this ball game. Of course, all 5 runs coming in the second.
I see a fan down in front of me trying to play Pokemon Go.
That's been going around a lot.
I know. I mean, you got to catch them all, man. But I don't think she realizes that, unfortunately, Osland Field is kind of a dead zone for Pokemon.
That is also something I've noticed. Might have to throw a lure in there. And nonetheless, 2-2 on the way here to Cardinale. Rope down into left field. Going to get in for a base hit and might even get past the left fielder, Cheney. He'll have to backhand the one as that will score Zickafoos easily. And Cardinale holding up at first base with a 2-out RBI single here as the Grey Wolves are on the board here 5-1. Now, you guys are never out of it at no point.
We have a very talented roster up and down the lineup, and anybody at any point can, smoke a ball to bring us back. So.
And certainly a guy that can leave the yard here coming to the plate in Josh Adams. And it has also kind of turned into, at least from seeing you guys off the field, a bit of a vocal leader. And I'm not sure if that's particularly his style, but he seems like kind of a rambunctious guy, not afraid to not only get in the faces of his teammates, but also the opposing team.
Oh, yeah. You mean Chomaha? Yeah. No, he'll definitely let you hear. He's a very, very fun, very vocal guy, and he likes to let us know about it, but luckily that he's on our team because he'll let the other team hear about it too, as we saw after the Victoria series when he was the first to get in their coach's face.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we ever have a brawl, he's definitely the guy I would hide behind. Because I would be a yeller. I'm not a fighter. I'm just a yeller. I'd be the guy yelling to hold me back.
Yeller, lover, but not a fighter.
No, exactly.
as this pickoff attempt there, no tag, with Cardinelli getting back into the bag. Now also, in terms of the basketball thing, now that's something that started recently, but have you guys had anything else, at least, I know kind of this has all come on in the second half, but did you guys have some first half things that you kind of went through?
Not a whole lot. I mean, in the first half, we started the joke of the trip trophy, in which I stole a sign, like a number waiting sign from Miner's Restaurant in Yakima.
Okay.
But outside of that, we hadn't had much because, I mean, we were still getting guys in every single day. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was still kind of in that awkward getting to know each other phase.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, once everybody kind of meshed together and bonded, we were able to have more inside jokes and more things like, dunking on people in the post.
Yeah, and even your buddy Clark, a late addition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, he's just a perfect example of how everybody's, come together, and that's brought us a lot of success in the second half.
There's another 0-2 on the way, misses too far outside here. 1 balls and 2 strikes to Josh Adams, who's 0 for 1. And it had a, I guess you could call it a screamer there in the first inning, went about 1.5 feet in front of home plate. Unfortunately, was thrown out.
Yeah.
As he's been known to hit the longest and now, I guess, the shortest balls of the season.
Yeah.
It's fitting. As a 1-2 on the way, too far in the dirt, blocked there by the backstop for Kitsap.
It's like that scene in Benchwarmers where Rob Schneider originally calls a shot and then just points down 2 feet in front of him. That's what Chomaha did.
Yeah, Chomaha. That's right. Yeah, no, that is actually a good example there. Oh, I believe was that the guy who kept fouling off the foul ticks?
Yeah.
David Spade, I believe it was.
Oh, did I say? Yeah. David Spade, not Rob Schneider.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
my
guy's
bad.
hilarious. It's now the 2-2. Nope, pickoff attempt over to first base. In with a head first slide there is Cardinelli, not in time. The runner coming in previously in this inning, Zikafus already come around. That's going to be an unearned run tagged against Prezino. In fact, a couple of unearned runs so far in this ball game, 2 for Gresham, as after an error by the first baseman, Will Matheson allowed a double to bring in 2 more runs. As the 2-2 on the way, curveball too far outside here, full count. So runners will be on the move here. Cardinelli can run well over at first base. And also, another question I got to ask you, in terms of the competition, because coming from Linfield College, did it take a little time to sort of adjust?
Yeah, I hadn't. So this is my second year in the West Coast. Like, I definitely had an adjustment period. Ooh.
This one is swung on missed here by Josh Adams, and I guess that'll go to tell. Never start a story here with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
That's how it goes
Sorry about that. Nonetheless, that'll be Carter Book here in the booth. That'll conclude the third inning. Grey Wolves do strike for 1 here now, 5-1, as we will go to the 4th inning. Kitsap coming up after this break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. Carter, thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. All right, and we'll be right back with you after this quick break.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now Spud Heidemann onto the bump here for his 4th inning of work as this first pitch is slapped into right center field. Going to get down for a base hit, played it up by Perrin as the leadoff man right here for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, Justin Bundy, finds himself aboard here with the first pitch single. Single in his last at bat as well, as he is now 2 for 2, also scored a run, the second of that 5-run rally back in the top of the second inning for Kitsap. So Heideman's going to have to work out from the stretch here. Taylor Adams will step to the plate, who had the loudest hit of the night. Although, in talking with Carter Book, the left-hander for the Gresham Grey Wolves in the previous inning, you can go back and listen to that on our YouTube channel in the third inning of this ball game. From what he saw, as well as I up here in the booth saw, was that Adams, once he hit it, did not, in fact, think that the ball went out. Barely skipped over the fence there in right center field beyond the Dan Carlson sign, as he now takes a first pitch breaking ball on the outside edge for strike one. It barely glanced over the fence. In fact, might even got a piece of the ivy on the way down, and Adams, rounding second, was looking around as to wonder if that ball had actually gone out. Now a quick pickoff attempt over to first. Not in time, as Matheson applies the tag to no avail. However, Adams, in his first home run of the season, collects 3 runs on 1 swing for Kitsap. At the time, gave him a 3-0 lead. Now another pickoff attempt, but not even close to being in time there. So really kick-started that 5-run inning that was sort of extended. Jake Stronach, the leadoff hitter, as this one is taken for a strike over the outside corner, 0-2. Stronach grounded a pretty simple ground ball over to Will Matheson at first. However, had trouble with it, kicked off his glove. That allowed him to reach first, and then on the next at-bat, Daniel Lopez doubled Stronach along with Alec Chanian. As this one, a ground ball over the right side. One hop to second baseman Barkis. He'll go to shortstop, back to first base, but not in time. As the runner able to beat the throw there, Adams is in safely. Fielder's choice, though, as Bundy is out on the 4-6 putout, and there's one away here in the top of the fourth. So now Benny Clevahea will step in as he's 0 for 1, grounded out to the third baseman Zikafus back in the second inning. He was, in fact, the second out back at the time, came up right after the home run. So with nobody out, Heidemann was able to retire Clevahea. And then with the bases loaded, unfortunately, the Blue Jackets are able to rally for a couple of more runs as they hold a 5-1 advantage over the Gresham Grey Wolves so far in this ball game. So now Heidemann with his sign comes set at the letters. Kicks and fires, ground ball over the left side, stabbed by Zikafus. No, can't get it as it kicks off his glove. I thought he had that ball as he kind of looked into his glove as to wonder why or how he missed it, but nonetheless did as it skipped into left field. And it's going to be a base knock for Clevahea. So Adams will move up to second base. And in fact, looking through the game sheet last night, I believe Clevahea did have an RBI single. He drove in the only run of the ball game last night in the 8th inning, so his second hit of the series. Apart from that was 0 for 3. Now right-hander will step in, take a first pitch swing at a breaking ball, and fouls it off to the right side. That's Alec Cheney now down at an 0-1 count as he doubled back in the second. A 5-hit, 5-run second inning. Only 3 of those runs earned, however. As now with 2 singles here in this inning, a total of 8 hits. Or check that 9 if you include the one in the third there. So 9 hits for the Blue Jackets as this one is taken for a ball here outside, 1-1. Heidemann has not allowed more than 6 runs earned in a ball game. Only has 3 earned so far, total of 5. In fact, 6 is the most amount of runs in general that he's allowed in a game so far this season as he now buries a slider too far low here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Last time he faced Kitsap, had relatively no trouble. Only gave up 3 hits through 7 innings. However, through just over 3, has already given up 9. That's a season high, or almost tied for a season high, as he gave up 10 against Kelowna, 9 against Victoria, as he now spots a fastball on the outside edge, strike 2. Total of 9 hits so far in the ball game. For Gresham, just 1 off the bat of Mark Cardinale. Brought in the only run so far, although an unearned run for Gresham is now a ground ball right to the shortstop Doherty. Couple of hops, he'll underhand flip it to second, on to first base in time. A 6-4-3 double play turned here by the Gresham Grey Wolves, and that will strand two. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on as we head to the bottom half of this 4th inning here at Osland Field. Jeff Mitchell Jr., Will Matheson, and Curtis Perrin when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. I'm Evan Giddings, and your Grey Wolves trail 5-1.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so Prezina back out on the mound for his 5th inning of work, or rather 4th inning, as the Grey Wolves will step into the plate. It'll be Jeff Mitchell Jr., followed by Will Matheson and Curtis Perrin. They currently trail 5-1, all 5 runs coming in the 2nd inning for the Kitsap Blue Jackets. 2 of them unearned, however, so just 3 earned runs charged against the Grey Wolves starter Spud Heidemann, who will likely be going out for that 5th inning. There was some stirring down there in the bullpen, but nobody throwing currently, so he'll get the 5th at the very least. However, Jake Prezina, the starter for Kitsap, the left-hander, has had smooth sailing so far. Now, coming into this ball game, had faced Gresham once and got tagged with the loss back on June 30th. That was a part of a 7-0 rout by the Grey Wolves, although most of those runs came in the later innings. As now, first pitch swing is Mitchell Jr. He'll loft one into right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Mitchell Jr., after striking out in his first at-bat, able to get in the hit column here, placing one right in between the second baseman Stamfel and the oncoming right fielder Bundy. Just a couple of feet in between the two as they crossed in their paths, but unable to catch the ball there, and that's a base hit to lead off the Grey Wolves' 4th. So now Will Matheson will step in, who actually, I found out, thanks to the interview I did here with Carter Book back in the 3rd inning, was the number 2 basketball player in the state of Oregon his senior season this past year, as he now taps this one off the plate foul, 0-1. I'm not sure what type of power rankings these were, but I got to go with my guy, the left-hander from Linfield College, a Northwest Conference member, as I also attended Willamette University in that conference. So I got to trust him here. Is now a pitch on the outside corner called 0-2. Now, certainly Will Matheson has the height, 6'6". My guess would be playing down low, probably power forward, but nonetheless, very impressive and certainly an athletic kid. Is now the 0-2 on the way. Checked his swing on a changeup, and he did not go around here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Will Matheson, so far, at least in the past week, has only got 4 games, 1 for 11, so has struggled a bit at the plate. 1 run scored as well as an RBI, although has drawn 2 walks. Has now a pickoff attempt over to first quickly, and as Mitchell Jr. didn't slide, ended up going in foot first, but still barely in safely from the tag from the first baseman Martin Powles. On the season, however, Matheson batting just above 200, 204, 10 hits through 49 at-bats. Those at-bats have come a bit sporadically here towards the second half of the season. Hasn't got as much playing time as he did in the first half, probably having to do with the amount of offensive production and not wanting to break up the good mojo, if you will, the momentum that the Grey Wolves have been able to build as now he calls time. However, we've certainly seen flashes from Matheson early on in the season, especially offensively. Now Mitchell Jr. dancing over there at first base, and finally kicks and fires as Brzezina, and he misses low here to end up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matheson with 8 RBIs so far in the season. He's only struck out 8 times, has walked 6 walks, so a guy that's going to put the ball in play. And early on, in fact, to begin the season, started off with a 4-game hitting streak stretching from June 3rd on to June 11th, excuse me, as now he takes ball 3 outside here, full count. So we'll see what Mitchell Jr. will choose to do here. Leads the team with 12 stolen bases. Not afraid to run. Certainly has the green light. So we'll see in the full count. Doesn't go as the payoff pitch is slapped over the left past the third base coach, Justin Barkis, out of play. Foul here. We'll do it again. Has had a couple of multi-hit performances so far this season has Matheson. Back on June 23rd against Cowlitz. On 2 for 4 with one of his 3 doubles on the season. Also a run scored and an RBI. The other multi-hit performance came on July 4th as this one is belted deep to left center field, giving chase to Cheney, and he will watch this one go! Will Matheson with an impressive left center field blast. And just like that, the Grey Wolves are back in this thing. 2 runs up on the board. That'll make it 3 as they trail now 5-3 here in the 4th. That one sounded good off the bat and sounded good getting into the trees there, rustling here at Osland Field. Still nobody out as now there's 2 runners have come in. They got one thanks to an error by the second baseman Stamfeld in the 3rd inning and now have capitalized on the pitching. A missed location there by Brzezina allowed Will Matheson to go get that ball in a full count and gets the Grey Wolves back on the board. So now Perrin will step in. First pitch takes a strike on the inside corner here. Lefty on lefty matchup. In fact, teammates over at Seattle University, him and the starting pitcher Jake Brzezina, as he now takes a big swing and a miss there. And it's 0-2. Perrin, in fact, walked in his first at-bat on 4 pitches. That was his 25th walk of the season. Now breaks the tie with Ryan Smith for the most on the Grey Wolves. So the 0-2 here and extends out, slaps it over the left side, just trying to stay alive with that cut and able to do so. Keeping his at-bat alive here, 0-2. Batting .205 so far on the season. Although over his last 5 games, batting just .091, or rather 125 actually, 2 for his last 16. As he now fouls off another pitch here, staying alive. Has struck out 5 times over the last 5 games, has also earned now 6 walks. Has another 0-2 on the way from the left-hander and slapped this time over to the right side. So Perrin certainly a tough out. Doesn't have a large strike zone to throw to. Definitely good plate coverage by the left-hander. And like Book alluded to in the 3rd inning during our interview, likely going to be the starting second baseman at Seattle University. As he now a nice take there on a curveball too far outside here for the first ball of the at-bat. Good eye there from Perrin as his teammate tried to get him to chase. Will likely try to do so here in the 1-2 as he now fires and swung over a changeup on that time. And Perrin is down on strikes here. So 1 away in the home half of the 4th as Perrin goes down swinging. And now that will bring where Perrin typically plays, the second baseman, Jordan Barkis, to the plate. So 0 for 1 is Barkis. Popped out to the second baseman, Stamfeld, back in the 2nd inning. Will now step in the box. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup. In fact, I believe Matheson, as this one is sprayed towards the right side, going to get in for a base hit past the outstretched arms of the first baseman Powles into right field. So a 1-out base knock here for Barkis, trying to get something going again for Gresham, having already plated 2 runs off 1 swing from the first baseman Will Matheson. His first home run of the season. And on the year, 7 now for the Grey Wolves. So nonetheless, Barkis, or like I was talking about, the lefty-on-lefty, Matheson, Mitchell Jr., and Cardinale, the only right-handers in the lineup. So 6 out of the 9 southpaws, lefties going up against Brzezina as he now buries a strike on the inside corner. In fact, almost skipped over the guy right here, Matt Cairo. So 4 out of the 9 are right-handers, making just below half of the lineup. Although a very interesting decision by Barkis, not caring about the lefty-on-lefty matchups, as this team has done pretty well against left-handers so far this season, as this one misses too far inside here, 1-1. So Brzezina, a long hold here, finally has his sign as he comes set at the belt. Looks over to first. High leg kick, kicks and fires. This one is popped up beyond home plate and is going to be just off the fence there, just a couple of feet there, keeping Matt Cairo alive in this at-bat, as that will go for the second strike. It got right off the fence as it was coming down, so an angle that suggested it was nearing the field of play, and over camped under it was Kalevahea, but unfortunately for Kitsap, unable to get the out there. Going to have to wait a little bit longer here possibly, as the count is 1-2 strikes. So like I was saying, against left-handers, Gresham actually 12-11, so just above 500, although I'd like to take a look at those splits during the second half, as they have been absolutely dominant so far. As the 1-2 on the way, fastball too far and outside. Barely corralled there by the Kitsap backstop. Able to get his paws on it was Kalevahea, and it's 2-2. So 5-3 now here in the Gresham fourth inning, the bottom of the fourth. 4 hits so far for Gresham, 9 for Kitsap. As Cairo will take a swing and tap this one over near the batter's circle out of play. Count remains 2-2. Evan Giddings bringing you Gresham Grey Wolves baseball here on your YouTube channel, Gresham Grey Wolves Live. In the second game of a 3-game series, the third game will be right here at Osland Field tomorrow night, Thursday night at 7:05 p.m. All the start times for weekday games at 7:05, along with Saturday. The only other game where that time changes is now pickoff attempt over to first base, not in time. The only time the game time changes is on Sundays. A 5:05 p.m. start, kind of the afternoon twilight. As the lights have come on, the sun still out though here in Gresham, Oregon. As now finally the 2-2 on the way. Curveball taken low and inside. A nice eye right there by Matt Cairo as he runs the count full. Now the last full count came in this inning and was to that man, Will Matheson, as he went big fly out to left center field. About 10 feet up the ivy over there in left center field. Certainly an impressive blast, and I thought that one was gone right off the bat. So now the payoff pitch with one out is a fastball just a bit high here, right above the belt. Called ball 4 by the home plate umpire, Jim Courtney. So possibly catching a break there, Matt Cairo and the Grey Wolves, but nonetheless able to work a walk as Barkis will head up to second base. Now there will be runners on second and first here for the shortstop, Doherty. Now Doherty, after last night's 0-for-4 performance, although did have an RBI, batting average down from 272 to 260, as we're going to have a mound visit here by the Kitsap Blue Jackets. It appears that Damon Porter, the assistant coach, will be out there on the bump. Going to have a chat not only with his starting pitcher, but also the rest of his infield. So possibly thinking that Doherty, the leadoff man, might lay one down in this situation, despite there being one out. Certainly would be a sacrifice situation with the Grey Wolves trailing by 2 if there were nobody out, but I'm wondering what they're discussing at this point is now the home plate umpire Courtney is out trying to break things up. A long chat there is the pitching coach Porter, now with a tap on the shoulder of his left-hander Brzezina, and will head back towards the dugout as we're a couple of seconds away from resuming play. So now Doherty will step to the box here. One away, runners on second and first. Barkis on second, Cairo on first. Now that walk of the season for Cairo represents his 16th. Certainly up there. Doherty's got 16 himself coming into the ball game, as he'll try and find a way on base right here. So now Brzezina will take a step off the mound. Going to look back for his signs from the shortstop Lopez. He'll be tasked with keeping Barkis close to second base. Definitely playing the pull. Also playing for a double play as the middle infielders begin to pinch towards the second base bag. So the first pitch on the way to Doherty, and a bender cannot quite catch the inside edge. Didn't bend far enough back, and it's 1-0. Now Doherty has been having some trouble seeing Brzezina as well as that breaking ball. Has struck out twice on it so far tonight. 0 for 2 with a couple of swinging Ks. As now the 1-0. Swung on and grounded to the first baseman. It kicks up past him down the right field line. Barkis will score. Cairo is going to be on his way to third, and Doherty will have to hold up at first base as a throw comes in from Bundy. The Grey Wolves are back on the board here, and what will likely be an error for the first baseman. Yeah, called E3 is the official score, so an error there produces a run for the Grey Wolves. It's now 5-4. So a couple of runs earned. This one likely going to be not, as Doherty reaches on the E3. He's going to be on first base. Cairo moves up to second, and on a ball that possibly could have turned two, it looked like Powell's tried to field it on his glove hand side and angle himself in a position that would allow him to throw to second base to try and start a 3-6-3 double play. However, coming up with nothing, not able to get not even one out, and now Zickafoos will step in with runners on the corners. First pitch on the way to him. First pitch swinging, laces this one into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Bundy will play it in, but not before the Grey Wolves have tied this game. Matt Cairo comes in on an RBI single here from Connor Zickafoos, and we're all knotted up at 5. So with Kitsap striking for 5 in the top of the second, it's the Grey Wolves returning the favor here in the next 2 innings, the third and the fourth. They have played at 5 themselves to create an entire new ball game here at Osland Field, the second game of a 3-game series, and the Grey Wolves looking for a series win here so far, trying to get even a couple more now as Mark Cardinale will step in. He represents the 8th batter of this inning, and still just 1 out here for Jake Przina. I believe all of these runs should be earned, although Doherty, who now is on second base, as Cardinale takes ball 1 outside. Doherty would not be an earned run should he come across, as he reached on the error by the first baseman Powells, excuse me. As now Przina comes set, now checks back at second, a high leg kick and fires this one, roped down the left field line, going to get fair. Doherty will be sent as the throw coming in from left field, a strong one hop to home plate. Doherty is going to be out at the plate. A foot first slide as a strong throw from Cheney ended up beating him. The ball didn't hook quite far enough down the left field line to allow Doherty to get around the bag. But Barkis also kind of a late call. It didn't seem like Dylan Doherty knew exactly if it would be sent or not, was certainly hustling hard. But maybe that split-second hesitation is the difference between him scoring and him being thrown out at the plate. So a 7-2 putout, has him out for the second out of this Grey Wolf inning, but nonetheless, Cardinale moves up to second base on the throw. So runners still on second and third now for Josh Adams, who after stepping in now will call for time, readjust the elbow guard on the right arm, also wearing the ankle guard on his right leg. So Adams, 2 out. 2 RBI opportunity here as he takes a first pitch, big swing, fouls this one back off the plate. As he sat in that one, he knew he got a pitch to hit there and just missed it. So far this inning, Mitchell and Matheson have come in to score off the bat of a Matheson 2-run home run. Then with 1 out, Barkis singled, Cairo walked, Zickafoos singled in. Barkis, after Doherty got an error, actually that brought in Barkis, so he singled in Cairo. That's a total of 4 runs so far as we're all tied 5-5 here between the Grey Wolves and the Blue Jackets. As now the 0-1 on the way to Adams, and it is again tapped off the plate, but this time Kit's back off the screen here, and it's quickly 0-2. Now Adams is 0 for 2 so far. Has not got the ball in play more than just a couple of feet. Hit a tapper off the plate that was picked up by the catcher Kalevahea and threw Adams out back in the first inning. Also struck out swinging in the third, as he'll look to avoid that here with runners on second and third. So Cardinale takes his lead from second. Zickafoos on third. Now Przina has his sign in the 0-2. Fastball way high and outside. A chase pitch that Adams did not bite on, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Now Adams with 8 RBIs so far this season, although a couple of which have come in these type of 2-out situations. Majority of them have been later in the ball game, as he's certainly stepped up in big spots so far. But the Grey Wolves would appreciate one here as he now sends a hard ground ball over the first baseman Powells as he picks it up plays it off his chest, and now finally recovers to step on the bag to retire the side. So 3 unassisted has Adams down, but not before the Grey Wolves plate 4. A home run, 3 base knocks, allow 4 runs to come in here for the Gresham Grey Wolves as they have tied this game here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. I'm Evan Giddings, and we'll head to the 5th, all knotted up at 5.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now Spud Heidemann out for his 5th inning of work as he will now try and keep a 5-5 tie here entering the 5th inning. The Grey Wolves were able to plate 4 in the bottom of the 4th. And now with the top of the order, the Blue Jackets and Jake Stronach, Daniel Lopez, and Luke Stamfield stepping in to face Heidemann here. He'll have some work to do. So working for the wind-up here as the left-hander Stronach reached in his last at-bat and now takes a fastball too far outside here, 1-0. He reached on an error by the third baseman Matheson, so technically those last 2 runs of the 5 are unearned against Heidemann. Total of 3 so far as he now fires another fastball, misses too far off the outside edge here, now 2 balls and no strikes. Came in on a RBI double, 2 RBI double in fact, by the man on deck, Daniel Lopez. Plated Stronach along with Alec Cheney as he now takes a called strike over the outside edge here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Stronach playing third base tonight for Kitsap. Coming into play, hasn't been hitting particularly well as of late, although has a .241 average on the season as he now takes a fastball just off the outside edge here, 3-1. That's now the 3-1 coming in. A fastball right there at the knees, and that'll run the count full. So far 0 for 2 tonight as he has scored a run. His 19th now on the season. Moves him into a tie for most on the team, along with the shortstop Luke Stanfield. As now he sends a ground ball towards the shortstop. Doherty diving but cannot come up with it. A diving play by Doherty nearly had it, but gets into center field as that will be a leadoff single here in the 5th for the Kitsap Blue Jackets and Jake Stronach. So full counts so far have not been kind to either side. It was with 3 balls and 2 strikes that Will Matheson belted a home run, his first of the season in the 7th on the Grey Wolves' summer year, out to left center field. It was also in a full count against Heidemann that he gave up that double back in the 2nd. So now Lopez will show bunt. He hit that double and now bunts it, hits off the plate, and he got out of the box, although it came up and tapped him. I believe they're going to call this one foul as Jim Courtney is ruling that he was in the box when it hit him. Of course, if you're outside of the batter's box when you bunt or even just make contact in general, if you do end up making contact with the ball outside of the batter's box, you are ruled out. So obviously not the case here as the count runs 0-1. And Heidemann now from the stretch, kicks and fires. Slider just a bit too low there. Gloved by Cairo, and it's a ball and a strike. Now Lopez is 2 for 2. Both times, however, once reaching base, has been thrown out trying to get an extra base. And what I mean by that is he singled in the first inning, was caught stealing to end that first frame for Kitsap. As Hannah will take a 1-1. Swinging, pops up, high fly ball into left center field. Drifting over is Adams, and he will make the catch, play it back in for the first out here of the fifth. Now the other time I was alluding to with Lopez is now the second baseman, Luke Stanfield, will step in. Is in the second inning he doubled, and then during the same play, the throw came in from left field, was not in time to get the runner Stronach at the plate. However, Cairo alertly saw Lopez trying to extend his base pass, get to third, trying to get an extra 90 feet, and threw him out doing so. In fact, it was not even close, as Zikafus ran him down in a pickle. So nonetheless, retired here. Now 2 for 3 as Luke Stanfield, his middle infielder counterpart, will step in, and he takes a first pitch fastball, grounded over to the shortstop, backhanded by Doherty, tries a jump play onto first base, but not nearly in time, even if the throw was on target, as it drew Will Matheson a bit up the first base line. Certainly was not going to get the speedy Stanfield as he has himself an infield single. So that'll allow Stronach to move up to second base here. 1 out. As with the additional 2 hits, now a total of 11 in the ballgame for Kitsap. Now that is a season high allowed by Spud Heidemann, as the man I did an interview with earlier in this ballgame in the third inning, Carter Book, beginning to warm up down there in the bullpen. Number 11 certainly would recognize that high leg kick anywhere. As the DH, Joey Galeno will now step in. He takes a first pitch fastball that is just off the plate outside here, 1-0. The Blue Jackets cleanup hitter, 1 for 2, was robbed of a base hit by Curtis Perrin in a play that probably turned into a more difficult out than it needed to be, as he misread the line drive off the bat but was still able to recover and make a leaping grab. So just a couple inches separates Galeno from 2 for 2. Is now Cairo back pick down to first base high, but Will Matheson able to jump up and snag that one high out of the air. The 6'6" frame, along with apparently, as we've learned today, a basketball background, allow him to jump up and backhand that ball, keeping it in the infield. So all the runners back to their respective bases. Stronach on second, Stanfield on first. The pitch called for a strike, as it is now 1-1. So now Spud peering in. He's got his sign. Kicks and fires, and it's a changeup. Wrote through the right side. That's going to get in for a base knock. The right fielder, Mitchell Jr., will pick it up and fire it in. They're going to hold the runner at third base as the throw is cut off by Matheson, and the bases are loaded. So with an out scattered in there, a fly out scattered in there, 3 singles in this inning for Kitsap have loaded the bases here with 1 out for Martin Powles. Now entering this series, Powles was a guy that I circled, especially going through the roster, and statistically Powles had been the best hitter so far for Kitsap, as now the pitching coach for Gresham, Ian Sanderson, will head out and have a quick chat with Spud, probably giving some more time to Book up in the bullpen to warm up. However, back to Powles, he entered this series batting .316, leading Kitsap in that category, along with a couple of others. Had, I believe it was 6 extra base hits as I'm looking through here. 9 extra base hits, all doubles. A total of 15 runs batted in. That's tied for the team lead. Also 10 walks, and it just strike out only 17 times. It's kind of a late comer for Kitsap, as he's only making his 28th start this season, although has gotten 92 at-bats, so has certainly been a mainstay in the order, in the middle of the order for the Blue Jackets, as Sanderson has now retreated back in the dugout. Heidemann toes it from the first base side, and we're ready to resume play. So Powell is a big right-handed batter. He'll step in. First pitch on the way to him. Big curveball, swung on and missed. Has already struck out once tonight swinging on that big curveball from Spud. And to my point, despite his offensive abilities certainly on paper coming into this series, so far is 0 for 6, as he now swings on another breaking ball again in the dirt, blocked by Cairo, and quickly 0-2. So Powell is certainly susceptible to the off-speed pitch, and in particular, Heidemann's breaking ball has swung over it twice in this at-bat, a total of 4 times now in the ball game, as 2 more times back in the second inning when he struck out. We'll see if Spud goes back to it right here. 0-2 on the way, another breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Cairo, swung on and missed. Powell's going to sprint down to first base, but has nowhere to go as the bases are loaded. So instead, we'll have to head back to the dugout. 2 strikeouts on the night now for Powell's, a total of 3 on the game for Heidemann, and a big K there now with 2 outs and the bases loaded, an opportunity to exit the inning unscathed with the Blue Jackets right fielder Justin Bundy coming to the plate. Now Bundy's certainly going to be a much tougher out, as so far in this ball game is 2 for 2. Along with a run scored as he now slaps this the other way, and it is sinking. Going to get in for a base hit right in front of Adams. He bobbles it. That's going to allow another runner to come across. The throw into third base, a backhand tag, and it is not in time. As the DH there, Galeno in with a foot first slide, but Stamfel and Stronach coming to scores. That will break the tie here at Osland Field. Now 7-5. Blue Jackets have the lead. So a 2 RBI single here for Justin Bundy. Moves up to second base on the throw. And we're going to see if there's an error charged to Josh Adams. And so no error, as it was on the throw that allowed the runner to move up to second base. And I believe Stamfel probably was going to score regardless from second. And unfortunately, that looks like that will be the last pitch that Spud Heidemann has thrown tonight, as here comes head coach Justin Barkas from the dugout. So he'll get the ball. It'll be Carter Book, the left-handers. We'll take a quick break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live after Kitsap has struck for 2 more here in the top of the 5th, looking for more, as we'll come back to you after this quick break. I'm Evan Giddings. Don't go anywhere.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so Carter Book, the left-hander, on from the bullpen to replace Spud Heidemann, who will exit the game. Currently 7 runs allowed, I believe 5 of them earned. As Book will enter with 2 outs, runners on second and third. Both of those would be inherited runs going to Spud. And so Book trying to keep his team in the ball game. Currently 7-5 in favor of the Kitsap Blue Jackets, as the first batter that the Linfield College left-hander will face will be Taylor Adams. Currently with 3 RBIs so far tonight. Is this a breaking ball low in the dirt? Can't be blocked by Kalo. It'll get back to the backstop, and that's going to be a wild pitch on the very first throw here from Carter Book, allowing Joey Galeno to come in and coast on the way to home. That's now 3 runs here scored in this inning and an 8-5 ball game here at Osland Field. So plenty of runs going around, a total now of 4 hits in the inning, 3 runs produced from that, as Adams took ball 1 on that pitch, 1-0. So Boog will have to refocus here. Fires another fastball, not quite into the dirt, but just a couple inches above it, as it's called ball 2. And so Adams, a 3-run home run back in the second. That's how they got their first 3 runs of the ball game. Is now he swings and hits a high fly ball into shallow right field. Coming in is Mitchell Jr., calling off Barkas at second base, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. So unfortunately, the Blue Jackets do strike for 3, the latter of which coming off a wild pitch. However, the Grey Wolves will step to the plate, down 3 here. Mitchell Jr., Will Matheson, and Curtis Perrin when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. It's Kitsap 8 and Gresham 5.
Trying Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the Park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so Jake Brzezina back on the bump for his fifth inning of work as he'll fire in a first pitch ball low here to the leadoff man for the Grey Wolves in the home half of the fifth, Jeff Mitchell Jr. Now he led off the home half of the fourth as well as the Grey Wolves played at 9 in that inning, scored a total of 4 runs to tie the ball game at the time as he now takes a fastball off the edge, now 2 balls and no strikes. However, a response inning in the top half of the fifth here from Kitsap as they played at 3 of their own, and now Jr. finally takes the first pitch strike, or the first strike of the at-bat, I should say, here 2-1. Now Brzezina, in an up-tempo manner, working fast, fires in a fastball low here 3-1, as they got all of their runs produced on 4 singles, with a little bit of help from a wild pitch as Stronach singled to lead off the inning. Stamfeld with 1 out singled as well, as now Mitchell Jr. will take ball 4 here to lead off this fifth. So 1 for 2 with a couple of bases himself, or total bases I should say, as he walked and scored in his last at-bat. However, back to the top half of the inning where Stamfeld singled, Joey Galano singled to bring in a run. Singled to load the bases, and then after a big strikeout from Heidemann is now the runner on the move. Mitchell pitches outside, throw down to second base, not in time, as Jeff Mitchell Jr. flying all around the base paths so far today has himself a stolen base, his 13th of the season. That's a team high, and puts himself in scoring position with nobody out, as that is ball 1 here to Mark Cardinale. Or rather, Will Matheson, who in his last at-bat hit a booming shot, a home run out to left center field. And a 1-0 count right here as he takes a fastball right through the heart of the plate here, 1-1. So back to the top half as Justin Bundy slapped a single right in front of the left fielder Josh Adams to bring in 2 runs, and then after Spud Heidemann left the ball game, the first pitch from reliever Carter Book unfortunately was a wild pitch that allowed the third run to come across, as now Matheson will take ball 2 here, 2-1. However, was still able to retire the batter that he came in to face and get the job done and get the Grey Wolves out of that inning, leaving a runner on third base. So Matheson, the tall right-handed batter, 6'6" and the pitch on the way, and takes a fastball, did check his swing, but couldn't pull the trigger as he takes strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So an 8-5 ball game here, 13 hits for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, just 6 for Gresham, as they've been able to take advantage of a key error, as well as a couple of free bases. Now this ground ball is over the left side. Mitchell Jr. heading to third. The third baseman cuts it off, fires across the diamond in time. A nice play there by Jake Stronach. Ranges to his left, picks it off the forehand. Doesn't allow the runner coming in front of him, Mitchell Jr., to distract him, and is still able to square up and make the throw to get Matheson by a step. So although he is down, and that's the first out of the Gresham fifth inning, Matheson a productive out, and allowing Mitchell Jr. to head over to third. So that'll put him 90 feet away from home as the center fielder will step in, Paris Perrin. As he's 1-1 so far against his teammate Jake Brzezina, teammate at Seattle University. as he's walked so far tonight, also struck out in a 7-pitch at bat. Had a good battle. Lefty on lefty, and the last one was lost. Hopefully looking to win here as he takes a off-speed pitch that runs to the far inside here now 2-0. Parents certainly with a great eye. You don't see him go down too often. Commands the strike zone very well. Knows his limits also. At the 2-0 coming, fastball too far and low outside here to Reno. So he worked himself a pitch walk back in the second inning. Has set himself up to do so again here in the fifth. So Brazino looking to get back in the count, looking back in the zone here. 3-0 on the way, fastball right to the heart. And it's the first strike of the at-bat, 3-1. So Mitchell Jr. after walking and stealing a base, essentially manufacturing himself those 3 total bases there on his at-bat as Will Matheson on a soft ground ball to the third baseman allowed Mitchell Jr. to move over to third as this one is fouled back off. Now full count here to Parent. He has struck out a total of 25 times, which is tied for second most on the team. And if you had to guess, you probably wouldn't have guessed Mitchell Jr. along with Ryan Smith are the 2 others. Jeff with 25 strikeouts and Smith with 27. Of course, the 2 All-Stars for Gresham is now the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball too far inside as Perrin leans out of the way of that one and will take ball 4. His 27th walk, his team-high 27th walk on the season. As he'll hand over to first base, that'll put runners on the corners now for Jordan Barkis.
Number 5, Jordan Barkis.
So the Gresham second baseman will step in. He singled in his last at-bat as well as scored. Hit a line drive through the right side of the infield, past the first baseman Martin Powles. As the left-hander now in the box, peering in is Jake Brazina. Finally has his sign as he comes set. That high leg kick and fires his ground ball right back to him. The pitcher will go to second base, a throw on to first, and it is in time. A great play made there by the pitcher, Brazina. He held and froze Mitchell Jr. at third base, then turned to start the double play. So 1-6-3, and just like that, the Gray Wolves will strand 2. No runs on no hits, no errors, but 2 runners left on as they cannot make use of the 2 free bases dished out by Brazina, as that will conclude the 5th. So we'll head to the top half of the 6th inning with the bottom of the order in Clevahea, Cheney, as well as the top of the order in Stronach coming to the plate here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. I'm Evan Giddings, and the Gray Wolves trail the Kitsap Blue Jackets 8-5.
Bum ba da dum da da dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so the left-handed reliever Carter Book back out on the mound, got the last out of the top half of the 5th inning against the Kitsap offense. And starts Benny Kalevahea off here with a fastball too high and outside here, 1-0. Now Kalevahea so far in this ball game is 1 for 2. A single back in the 4th. Was stranded there, along with another Blue Jacket. So far, just 3 runners left on base in this ball game for Kitsap. So they've certainly maximized their offensive production as the catcher now slaps one off and to the right side, a high fly ball, but gonna kick foul here, 1-1. All their runs have come in bunches as they scored 5 in the second, and then 2 scoreless frames put up by the starting pitcher for the Grey Wolves, Spud Heidemann, and then an additional 3 runs that all were tagged to Spud, although the last one came from a wild pitch out of the hand here of Carter Book, who now buries a slider that misses too far low here, 2-1. We actually had Book up here in the broadcast booth in the 3rd inning. That's something you can go listen to on our YouTube channel. He's a very entertaining member of the Gresham Grey Wolves, to say the least, as he now misses too far low here, 3 balls and 1 strike. I certainly enjoyed the interview and actually got to compete against Carter, as well as another left-hander on the Gresham staff, Kason Cunningham, for the last 2 years. They attended Linfield College, where I competed against them as a member of the Willamette baseball team. Didn't get a lot of looks at Book during the season, although he did pitch against us in the last series we played against him my senior season, as he now fires ball 4 here. So Kalevahea taking his first base bag to lead off this 6th inning. However, Book, whether it be in his college season, and especially now in the summer season, very effective out of the bullpen for Gresham, as he now fires a first pitch strike over the inside half of the plate here to Alec Cheney, 0-1. Cheney grounded into a double play to finish the 4th inning, doubled in the 2nd, ended up coming around to score as he now checks his swing on a slider low and in. The appeal down to Gerkman, the field umpire, and no, he did not go, as the count runs 1 ball and 1 strike. Cheney, over his last 7 days, has played in 4 games, just 8 at-bats, though, so the majority of those coming in pitch-hit appearances. He now fights this one off back off the screen here, and it's 1-2. Just 2 hits in those 8 at-bats, although did work 1 walk. Struck out 4 times. But one of those times he did reach, ended up stealing a base. So the first look here so far for Gresham against Cheney is he will now fight this one off to the right side. Going to get out likely up and around 17th Street over to the right side of this Mount Hood Community College campus. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So there appears to be a right-hander up in the bullpen for Kitsap. Can't quite get that number. We'll try and get it for you as quickly as possible as a breaking ball misses just below the knees here. Book not happy with the call, but nonetheless will be ruled ball 2 here to even the count. Nobody up for Gresham, is Book likely going to serve as that middle relief bridge. Can go upwards of 4 or 5 innings, as he in fact was a starter for Linfield College, as he now misses too far low here, blocked in the dirt by Cairo, and that is going to run the count full. It appears to be number 22, although that's Jacob Przina, who's the starting pitcher. So we've seen some mix of the jerseys. This one, a ground ball to the third base side. Zikafus has it over to second, on to first base in time. And a nice play by Jordan Barkas, avoiding the tough slide there by Kalevahea, coming in hard. He jumped right over him and made the throw to complete the 5-4-3 double play. So just like that, there's 2 away here in this 6th inning, as their mystery man in the bullpen still to be named. I believe Przina was wearing number 22 on the mound. So quite possibly could be also Joe Siegel, who we saw last night. Maybe also Tanner Zuber, as the first pitch on the way here is a ball run low. Showed bunt in so. As now that high leg kick from Book, fires in a fastball right around the knees, called strike 1. So Book from the windup certainly has a bit of an unorthodox delivery, but adds to the deception as he now is working fast, fires a fastball, but too far low there. Called ball 2 here, 2-1. Stronach has reached twice on an error once back in the 2nd, also singled in the 5th, has scored twice like I mentioned earlier. So he now grounds a chopper up the middle, backhanded by Barkas. He'll have to sit and plant, fires onto first base, and just in time got Stronach by a half a step, as a couple of nice plays up the middle by Jordan Barkas. First on the double play, and now on a ground ball, retire the side here in the top of the 6th. So we'll head to the bottom half of the frame with the Grey Wolves coming up. It'll be Cairo, Doherty, and Zikafus when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. It's Kitsap 8 and Gresham 5.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Grey Wolves. where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now, replaced on the mound is Jake Brzezina, a right-hander out of the bullpen, the mystery man that we couldn't figure out there last inning. Number 18, Garrett Smith, has revealed himself as a member of the Gresham, or rather the Kitsap Blue Jackets relief corps. So that will mark the end of the day for Brzezina, who goes 5 innings, allows 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, as he walks 5 and also strikes out 5. So a bit of an inconsistent start for Brzezina, who so far this season has been pretty good. A 3.75 ERA so far, at least coming into play. I'm sure that will go up after the end of this game, but nonetheless, Matt Cairo will step in. He'll be the first batter to face Garrett Smith, so finally some righty-on-righty action here for the Grey Wolves, and will certainly favor their left-handed dominant lineup. 5 lefties, 4 righties in the order this evening for the Gresham offense of Justin Barkas, is now the first pitch on the way. Fires in a fastball too far outside here, 1-0. Now Cairo to this point has walked. He's 0 for 1 as he flew out back in the third, but walked in the fourth as well as scored a run as he now takes another fastball, but does catch the outside edge here to even up the count at a ball and a strike. Now Garrett Smith is making his 19th appearance out of the bullpen. Certainly has frequent in the mound for the Blue Jackets, a 6.88 earned run average through those 18 games and a total of 17 innings. So has been kind of used in short relief outings, but will likely get an extended opportunity here as he now breaks in a slider of the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Has 1 save on the season that came back on July 5th against the Bend Elks. Came in for an inning and a third. As now Cairo fights this one off back beyond our heads here over the broadcast booth in Gresham, as the sun hasn't necessarily died all the way down, but just about on the precipice of dusk here, as there's been some pink clouds kind of scattering over at Osland Field. Of course, the lights all the way on, I believe on a timer around 8 o'clock, as we have just reached 9 p.m. here in Gresham, Oregon, as a breaking ball on the outside corner, called strike 3. Rung up by the home plate umpire Jim Courtney as Matt Cairo is down looking here to begin the Gresham 6th inning. So now that'll bring Dylan Dory to the plate. Was 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 3 so far this night. As after having that 13-game hitting streak, 22-game on-base streak, has struggled offensively here against the Blue Jackets. So we'll try and get back on track here with 1 away as Smith fires a fastball too far low and inside here, 1-0. Reached on an error, though, in the 4th to kind of extend that rally for the Grey Wolves. They played at 4 in that inning, as now Doherty takes another fastball, this one low and outside, as it's 2-0. Now Smith has pitched twice against Gresham, up on the 30th and 29th when the Grey Wolves traveled up to Kitsap, as he now misses too high this time, 3-0. Pitched twice against them. Didn't even record an out in his first outing, allowed 1 earned run as he gave up a walk. I believe there was also a hit by pitch in there and then was taken out, as now he fires ball 4 too low. So a 4-pitch walk here dished out to Dylan Doherty with 1 out here, and that'll bring Connor Zickafoos up with a man on base. The other outing for Smith against the Grey Wolves was in that 7-0 victory for Gresham. Pitched an inning Went 1-2-3, I believe, in the latter part of that ball game, as the contest was essentially over by the time he entered. However, nonetheless, has been kind of up and down. The middle of the season is where he was at his best. The lowest his ERA got was a 5.06, as now he misses too far low here, just below the knees to Zickafoos. Not happy with the call, but nonetheless, 5th consecutive ball thrown here by Smith. His one loss came on July 22nd, as his record is 0-1. So the only loss coming against the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Only managed a third of an inning as he picks off over to first base, but in safely is Doherty. Allowed 3 earned runs, couple of walks. No hits, in fact, and no strikeouts as well, as now Zickafoos grounds one to the first base side. Fair ball past the first baseman Powers. That's going to get down the right field line. Zickafoos heading for second. Doherty over to third, and Connor Zickafoos in with a foot first slide. A double here with 1 out, and Gresham right back in business, looking to try and scrape into these runs that have gone against them so far in this ball game. A deficit currently of 3 as they trail 8-5 here. But now with 2 runners on in scoring position, an opportunity for the designated hitter, Mark Cardinale, who's been certainly hot tonight, 2 for 3, to try and drive in a couple more runs. So I believe the official call is a double, and I believe should be, as Doherty now on third base, Zickafoos on second. First pitch on the way to Cardinale is miss low, here 1-0. So like I mentioned, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Couple of singles in the 4th and the 5th. The UC Davis Aggie now steps in and takes a fastball over the outside edge here, 1-1. Now Cardinale, a guy that I haven't really heard too much from, whether it be on or off the field, kind of staying in his own lane, if you will, not necessarily a loud voice in the member of the Grey Wolf offense, but has been a mainstay in the middle of the order, at least as of the second half, as now he fouls this one over the right side part of the fence and foul 1-2. In fact, over his last 7 games played, has a team high average of .391, is slugging .609, an on-base percentage above 500, as he's 9 for 23 over that stretch in the past week. 3 runs scored as he fights this one back off the screen, staying alive here again, 1-2. 2 doubles as well, also a home run that came on the road. And a total of 6 RBIs, which is most over that 7-game stretch for the Grey Wolves. Also has earned himself 5 walks, a total of 7 free bases. He was hit twice. Is now a defense swing here, curveball up and tight, but nonetheless Cardinale able to make contact. Might have been strike 3 had he not been able to, because it looked like he did go around. And like I mentioned, the defense aspect of his swing, because that ball was so far up inside, couldn't get out of the way of that one and just stuck his bat out. But nonetheless able to grab a piece of the lumber. Count remains 1-2. So now Smith kicks and fires, tried to gas up a little bit on that one, but missed too far outside and low. In fact, Kalevahea, just a miracle he was able to get his glove on that one, had to go back. He was set up on the inside part of the plate, reached across the plate, but still able to somehow grab the ball over in the left-handed batter's box. So that'll even up the count. Now is Smith peering in. A couple of shakes. Now finally has his sign. And the pitch. Deep fly ball out to left center field. And that ball, no doubt about it, deep into the night. And that one is gone. Mark Cardinale, a 3-run home run. And just like that, we're all tied here at Osland Field, 8-8. A fastball up and in, and Mark Cardinale did not miss it. Didn't matter if it was 2-2. Wasn't looking for anything soft stuff away, was waiting for his pitch and got it. Nothing but barrel right there as Doherty, Zickafoos, and that man, Mark Cardinale, comes in. His 2nd home run of the season, 4th RBI on the night. And the Gresham Grey Wolves are back in this ball game. And that possibly could be the last pitch here for Smith, as it appears the head coach, Matt Cartwright, is coming out. He's going to have a meeting with his entire infield, although possibly just having a quick chat. It appears that number 31, J.F. Matros, in the bullpen for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, beginning to get loose. I thought I saw someone down there in the bullpen, but he was paired with Smith, so obviously had been set down. It could have been Matros. Nonetheless, he's beginning to re-warm up. However, 3 runs have come across in this ball game in 1 inning here off the bat of Mark Cardinelli. A total of 5 off home runs in this game for Gresham. And that surely has been the equalizer so far. Will Matheson hit a 2-run jack in the 4th, and Cardinelli following suit here in the 6th, with a total of 5 runs coming from the long ball. And not something that we've seen so far from the Gresham offense. Is now the head coach for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, Cartwright, will head back to the dugout. And Josh Adams will step in. He's got 2 of the home runs, as now Cardinelli has put himself in a 3-way tie along with Josh Adams and Jack Johnson for the home run lead on the team with 2. So just the 7th home run of the season, and that was the point that I was trying to make with the fact that the Grey Wolf offense hasn't needed to rely on the long ball. Now Victoria leads the West Coast League, I believe, with 17 home runs as a team. And I believe the second place is the Yakima Valley Pippins at 15. But the Grey Wolves have been nearly at the bottom of all the extra base categories offensively, at least definitely in the first half, and have kind of moved into the middle of the pack here in the second half due to some outbursts. But the long ball has certainly not been a weapon that they've been utilizing throughout this season. So a total, actually, of 8 now if you include the Matheson one, and a big swing and a miss here from Adams. Might have been trying to go yard himself as he swings through an off-speed pitch here, 0-1. So a quarter of the home runs for the Gresham Grey Wolves on the season have been hit in this ball game alone. 2, one off the bat of Matheson, the other off the bat of Cardinelli, as Josh Adams takes a ball low and inside here, 1-1. RBIs number 15 and 16 on the season as Cardinelli creeps closer to Ryan Smith for the most runs batted in on the ball club, as now Adams takes a changeup too far low here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Smith with 21 RBIs. And after Cardinelli, it's a 3-way tie between Ben Clanky, Jack Johnson, and Jeff Mitchell Jr. at 11. So now the left-hander Adams takes a pitch, fastball right there at the knees. Didn't like the call, but nonetheless in for a strike, says Jim Courtney, and it's 2-2. So all knotted up at 8. 8 runs so far through, at this point, just 6 innings, or I should say 5+. Don't want to jinx anything for the Grey Wolves. Still a chance to come up and possibly take the lead here with 1 out, but nobody aboard. It's another 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung and a missed. A challenge fastball by Garrett Smith blew it by the bat of Josh Adams, and he's down on strikes swinging for the second time so far tonight. Not a great night at the plate for Adams so far, 0 for 4. And now 2 outs here for Mitchell Jr., who will try and get something going. Now he kick-started that 4th inning rally, the 4-run 4th inning, with a single out to right field, kind of a flare that landed in between the second baseman and right fielder, but nonetheless got the Grey Wolves going as the next batter, Matheson, who remains on deck, hit a home run. However, first pitch swinging here is Mitchell Jr., grounds to the third baseman, a high throw over to Powell's at first base, but still able to stay on the bag and record the out. But not before the Gresham Grey Wolves strike for 3 as they get all 3 runs off of 1 swing. A Mark Cardinelli 3-run bomb here in the bottom of the 6th inning has tied this game. So we'll head to the 7th inning here with Daniel Lopez, Luke Stamfill, and Joey Galeno, 2, 3, 4 due up for the Blue Jackets. As here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live, we're going to take a break. All tied up at 8 now going into the 7th.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so the first pitch on the way here from the left-handed reliever Carter Book for the Grey Wolves is in for a strike here to the right-handed shortstop Daniel Lopez for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, as we have a whole new ball game, effectively 0-0 as the real score 8-8, as this one a capper off the end of the bat right to the first baseman. Matheson has trouble, but they're covering as the first base, and the pitcher Carter Book able to help out his first baseman Matheson, who has struggled a little bit defensively there tonight. But the Grey Wolves have been picking themselves up all game long, continue to do so here, as that will be a 3-1 putout for the first out of this 7th inning. And so like I was saying, effectively a whole new ball game. 8-8 here as the Grey Wolves tied it by plating 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, all off of a 3-run home run from left fielder Mark Cardinale, designated hitter, was playing left field last night. As now Luke Stanfield will step in and take a first pitch fastball of the inside part of the plate here, 0-1. Now Stanfield is 2 for 3 with a run scored, a couple of singles, both in the 5th and the 3rd, as he now chops this one. A line drive right to the third baseman, Zikafus. He'll squat down and make the catch, and quickly 2 away here to begin the 7th. So the Grey Wolves have struggled in response innings, and what I mean by that is when they've put up runs, generally the Blue Jackets have been able to come back and respond to that. So in the 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th, the Grey Wolves put up 4. In the very next frame, the Kitsap Blue Jackets responded with 3. However, with 2 outs here as Book misses outside to Galeno, it's looking like a chance for Gresham to at least gain some momentum offensively and then compound that with a defensive 0 being put up on the board. Now as a fastball hits the outside spot, 1-1 here to Galeno. He's 2 for 3 with a double, single, 2 runs scored on the night. As there is the high leg kick, change up too far, up and in, called ball 2. So 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th. They did plate 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, did Gresham. So at the time there was 5-5. Then Kitsap took the lead as Galeno tied up on a big swing there on the inside corner, 2-2. However, after Kitsap plated 3 in the top half of the 5th, Gresham went down with a 0 in the bottom half of that frame, and then the next inning in the 6th, we're able to tie this game with a home run for Mark Cardinale, as now this one popped up in foul territory, third base side. Zikafus giving chase, now Camp Dumbert, and makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the 7th for Carter Book, as that'll take us to our 7th inning stretch. As we head to the home half of the inning, Will Matheson, Curtis Perrin, and Jordan Barkus, and we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. We're all tied at 8.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so as Will Matheson steps to the plate here to begin the home half of the 7th, down the count already as he swings through a fastball here to make the count 1-1. Now Matheson 1 for 3 on the night, although that one hit produced 2 runs on a 2-run home run out to left center field as he now checks his swing on a breaking ball, but doesn't matter. Called strike 2 regardless there by Jim Courtney. So Matheson with his first home run of the season. Also, Cardinale went deep in the 6th as he now takes a curveball too far low there to even up the count at 2-2. So 8-8 here in the bottom of the 7th between the Gresham Gray Wolves and the Kitsap Blue Jackets. The second game of a 3-game series as this fastball now misses too far in. Bend out of the way to Matheson, and that will run the count full. So certainly plenty of fireworks at the plate offensively is now the payoff pitch. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. Matheson goes down looking here for the first out of the home half of the 7th. So Garrett Smith, the pitcher on the mound, the right-hander for Kitsap, collects his second strikeout. He actually got Matt Cairo looking to begin the 6th. And then the very next batter, he walked Doherty. Zicafus doubled. And then, of course, that 3-run bomb by Cardinale to tie the ball game. So here, an on-base guy himself, much similar to Doherty, Curtis Perrin will step in. And a different look in the lineup, batting 7th, typically has been in the bottom order as he now bunts. This one ruled foul by the home plate umpire. It was kind of up the third base line and a nice bounce out of the squat there from Clevahea. He picked it up and threw it to first. But fortunately for the Gray Wolves, it was ruled foul by Gerkman, the home plate official here, and Perrin will retreat back to first base. So Gresham got an unearned run in the 4th, or rather the 3rd. They plated 4 runs in the 4th. All of those were earned, and then got 3 in the 6th. Whereas Kitsap, they scored 5 in the 2nd, 3 in the 5th. To make it an 8-8 ball game, certainly an interesting one. A total of 21 hits so far as this changeup misses too far outside now to Perrin 1-1. 13 hits for Kitsap, 8 for Gresham. As now the right-hander Smith kicks and fires. Fastball tied him up in the inside corner. A good spot there from the Kitsap righty. And he's ahead in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now Smith certainly has had his moments with strikeouts. 14 and 17 innings coming into play as he now fires a fastball. Chased one upstairs, did Perrin, frustrated himself as he will head back to the dugout. And Garrett Smith has utilized that heater to strike out the first 2 Gray Wolf batters he's faced here in the bottom of the 7th. So now with 2 outs, it'll be up to Jordan Barkus to try and extend this inning. As it appears, the left-hander Book will also get the 8th for Gresham. No one warming up in the bullpen for either side. So it's going to be up to these guys, having come out of the bullpen, the second pitchers of the game for both sides in Smith and Book. And have gone toe-to-toe so far as now this one fires and misses inside here to Barkus, 1-0. Smith, of course, has given up 3 runs off of that home run. Book, none, as all runs were charged to the starting pitcher for Gresham, Spud Heidemann. A total of 8 runs, 6 of them earned as this one catches the outside corner for strike 1 here against Barkus. A total of 13 hits surrendered by Spud tonight, and that is certainly a season high as he had trouble missing barrels with the majority of his pitches, and now his fastball upstairs here misses ball 2. Although it seemed like he was making good pitches tonight. Didn't walk anyone, so all the hits were earned by Kitsap. And for an offense that coming in had a batting average around 240 in the lower tier, as now Smith misses inside ball 3-1. For an offense that was in the lower tier in terms of team average, not as many hits, as now a 3-1 swing and popped up over on the second base side. It's going to be Stanfield calling for it. He'll set her under it and make the catch. So 1, 2, 3 innings all around here in the 7th as that will conclude the frame. Couple of strikeouts for Smith as we'll head to the 8th at Osland Field. It'll be up to Martin Powell, Justin Bundy, Taylor Adams when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live to try and get things going as we're all tied up here 8-8 going into the 8th inning.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now Martin Powell's, the right-hander, will step in against the lefty Carter Book here to begin the top half of the 8th inning here at Osland Field. The lights are on. The sun has officially set as we're nearing the 9:30 mark as the first pitch on the way, a changeup roped into left field, but right at Adams. He'll take a couple of steps back and make the catch. That one was hit right on the button, but greatly placing himself is Josh Adams, and there's quickly one away here in the 8th. Just one pitch necessary for Book, who went 1-2-3 in the 7th, and effectively went 1-2-3 in the 6th, or I should say faced the minimum. He did walk the leadoff batter, Clevahea, as now Justin Bundy will step in. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball taken above the belt, ball 1. However, after that walk, he induced a double play, 5-4-3 off the bat of Alex Cheney, and then Jake Stronach he got to ground out 4-3. So if you look at the amount he's faced on the minimum, is this one a high pop-up on the infield, second base side. Barkis going to be under it, and he'll make the one-handed catch. 2 away. So apart from that walk, has now retired 7 batters in a row. Carter Book surely has been dominating the Blue Jackets offense so far. Has gotten a little help from his offense. They've produced 3 runs so far for him. That came in the bottom of the 6th to tie this ball game as we're all knotted up at 8. So now the righty, Taylor Adams, will step in, takes a first pitch fastball high and outside, 1-0. Now, Book is a guy that's been used plenty this season. Certainly often, as he's made the most appearances out of the pen with 16, as this one is fouled off to the right side, 1 ball and 1 strike. However, he's been used in a multitude of situations, as coming in short relief, long relief like the ones we've seen tonight, now in his 4th inning of work, as the 1-1, fastball too high and out, 2-1. A 2.40 earned run average, a 1-2 record, however, so has gotten 1 win. That came against Victoria, went 4 2/3. Got attacked with a couple of losses early on in the season, although in both of those losses only gave up 1 earned run as he misses low here, 3 balls and 1 strike. 33.2 innings, so 33 2/3, pitch for Carter Book. 23 strikeouts, 9 walks surrendered, 28 hits, as he now fires a fastball too high, called ball 4. So a 2-out walk here to Adams. That'll give way to Benny Kalevahea, as he's 1 for 2. Walked back in the 6th, singled in the 4th, grounded out back in the 2nd. The catcher for Kitsap has played in both of these games in somewhat unusual fashion, considering the way that at least catchers have been given playing time for the rest of the teams that the Grey Wolves have played here. From what I've seen, generally the catchers, at least the starting backstops, as he now takes a ball 1 high, had to go up and grab that one, did K-Row, ball 1. Nonetheless, the majority of the catchers that we've seen from other West Coast League opponents have gotten the start in Game 1 as well as Game 3 of the series, and the Grey Wolves a member of that kind of cluster of West Coast League groups that also employ that method, with Ben Klenke generally being the starting catcher, getting Game 1 and Game 3, with K-Row getting the middle games, as this one is slapped back off the screen here, 1 ball and 1 strike. However, Clevahea, who so far during the season has played in now 36 games, appears to be getting more reps towards the end of the season, especially from what I've overheard from Kitsap. A lot of their players have left. And in fact, I heard this from Perrin, the center fielder for Gresham, before the ball game, as now the 1-1 on the way. A changeup in for strike two. Now ahead of the count is Book. But like I was saying, Perrin told me at least from whence they played them back on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of June, so just around a month ago, a little over a month ago, they've had about 6 or 7 players go back to college or drop. So a different look for Kitsap this time against Gresham, and clearly, at least tonight, has paid off for him as Kalevahea slaps this one down the first base line, but going to be foul as he gets over the head there. The first base coach, Damon Porter. Count remains 1-2. So one pitch away from getting out of this top of the 8th inning. One step closer to getting that offense back to the plate. The Gray Wolves certainly need to go to work here in the bottom of the inning, at least to try and put some pressure there on the Blue Jackets going into the 9th. They got a 6-1 victory last night in the first game of this series. Going to have to work a little harder here tonight to produce a win. As now time called to the plate by Kalevahea, and Book will step off. Both will wipe their brows and now step back in. So Book toes it from the third base side. 1-2 on the way. Backdoor breaking ball. Cannot get the call. Cairo looked like he made a motion towards the dugout. And now a quick word to the home plate umpire, Jim Courtney, probably just asking if that pitch was at least close to being a strike. A nice bender there from Book, but couldn't quite catch the edge. That'll even up the count at 2-2. An 8-8 ball game. 13 hits for the Blue Jackets. 8 for Gresham. As now Book comes set. The high set, the slide step, kicks and fires. Tied him up on the inside corner. Fastball swinging, and Kalevahea is down on strikes. So despite a runner reaching on a base on balls, Book sets the next batter down, leaving one aboard as we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Osland Field. Matt Cairo, Dylan Doherty, and Connor Zickafoos when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live. I'm Evan Giddings, and the score is 8-8.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
And so now the right-hander J.F. Matros out of the bullpen. He will get the 8th inning against the Gresham Gray Wolves offense, as it looks like Matt Cairo will be coming to the plate. No pinch hitter here for Justin Barkis, as it'll be Cairo, Dylan Doherty, and Connor Zickafoos in this inning. Now the closer, Michael Clark, beginning to play some light catch with the possibility of the Gresham Gray Wolves taking the lead here. It's all tied up at 8, as we've had quite a ball game going back and forth. The Gray Wolves have struck back multiple times to get back in this ball game, as the first pitch on the way from Matros to Cairo is a fastball low here, 1-0. Gray Wolves went 1-2-3 in the 7th. Couple of strikeouts for the reliever who Matros came in for. Smith, as now Cairo will fist this one back off the screen here for the first strike of the at-bat. Cairo so far is 0-2. Struck out looking to begin the 6th inning. although the Grey Wolves still were able to muster 3 runs to tie the ball game. All of them coming off of one swing, with Mark Cardinale blasting his second home run of the season. And on the 1-0, up and in as Cairo spins out of the way of that one. Nearly got a piece as some very unwanted chin music there out of the hand of J.F. Matros is called for ball 2. So mentally, Cairo's got to get back in this at-bat and not let that pitch high and tight affect his approach at the plate. Now, so Book ends up, or rather I should say, looking at the wrong page here for the relievers here, Garrett Smith ends up going 2 innings, allows 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, but also strikes out 4. As now the 2-1 on the way, fastball over the outside corner, and that's surely how it goes sometimes with a ball coming up towards your ear hole, and of course the next pitch is right there placed on the corner. So now Cairo's going to have to fight here in the 2-2 count. Choking up on the bat a little bit. He'll have to shorten the swing as now the 2-2 breaking ball too far inside, and that's ball 3. Now Cairo readjusting his ankle guard there. In fact, I thought for a moment that he was trying to take it off because he might have thought it was ball 4. Nonetheless, staying in the at-bat as the payoff pitch on the way from Matros, and now called time as Cairo got a bit of a late call there from Courtney. And now Cairo is having a word with the home plate umpire, Jim Courtney. I'm not sure if he's wondering about the count or whether or not the fact that Courtney did not allow him enough time to get in the batter's box, because Jeff Matros, once he stepped in, was right into his windup. So nonetheless, all sides evened up. Payoff pitch on the way, swung on and missed, tied up on an inside fastball, and Cairo not happy with himself, or I'm sure Jim Courtney. Nonetheless, he's down on strikes for the second time in as many at-bats, and that will give way to the leadoff man, Dylan Doherty, here to try and spark something in the bottom of this 8th inning. So 1 batter, 1 K here for J.F. Matros, entering the season, making his 20th appearance, although most of it, like Garrett Smith, has been kind of in short spurts. As the first pitch on the way to Doherty, big swing and a miss there. As he takes a big cut at that fastball, comes up with nothing but air, and it's 0-1. So making his 20th appearance, a 7.71 earned run average, and an 0-1 record, as he's tossed 18 2/3 innings so far, and now misses with a changeup outside here, 1-1. His loss came all the way back on June 7th. It was just his second appearance of the season, as he went 1 inning against the Bend Elks, as Doherty taps this one off to the right side. In fact, gets in the dugout there of the Kitsap Blue Jackets. So someone will retrieve that, but nonetheless the count of ball and 2 strikes. And so like I was saying, against the Bend Elks, he pitched 1 inning, allowed 2 earned runs. Those were the go-ahead runs as they ended up losing that ball game 3-2. As now Doherty goes the other way, lifts one down the left field line in foul territory. Giving chase to the third baseman, unable to get it, is Jake Stronach, as the count remains here 1-2. So gave up 2 earned runs, 3 hits scattered, did walk 2, no strikeouts. However, since then, his ERA has gone down increasingly. The lowest they got was 6.88 against Kelowna, and that was a stretch of 4 appearances where he threw 4 1/3 scoreless innings. In fact, pitched in all three out of the 4 games in that series, stretching from July 12th through the 16th. So the 1-2 on the way to Doherty. He'll fight this one off his front ankle. Appears to be okay. Nonetheless, staying alive in the count. He earned himself a walk back in the 6th. Came around to score on the Cardinale home run. Also reaching the 4th off an error from the first baseman Powles. This one, a ground ball off the glove there into shallow, the infield, I should say, still in the infield grass, able to pick it up as the pitcher and go to first base in time to get Doherty. And so a nice play there by J.F. Matros. Nearly went wrong as the 1-3 putout still intact, and there's quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Gresham offense. There's kind of a little squibber off the inside part of the bat, not hit well by Doherty, and a 2-hopper that tipped off the end of the glove towards second base, still in the infield grass, and so Matros barehanded it and kind of twisted his body in order to create an angle. Still able to make the play, though. So there's 2 outs now for Zikafus, who takes a changeup up and in here, called ball 1. In his last outing, had a 1-2-3 inning against the Yakima Valley Pippins on July 24th, as he now misses too low here with a fastball, 2-0. Now Zickafoos tonight, a couple of base hits, 2 for 3, although has reached all 4 times. Reached on an error back in the third, came around to score after a wild pitch, and then an RBI single from Cardinale as he now fights this one back off the swing. A big swing as is 2-1. So he scored the first run of the game for Gresham. Also walked back in the first, stole a base in fact, just his second swipe bag of the season. And then had an RBI single in the fourth as a part of that 4-run rally. Doubled in the sixth, then came around to score on the Cardinale home run as he now takes ball 3, curveball low. 13 walks so far in the season handed out by Matros through 18 2/3. He's only struck out 7. Although already has one in this inning in K-Row as he now misses too far low, ball 4. So 2 outs now. And the hottest hitting Gray Wolf coming to the plate, and Mark Cardinale had himself a night in the second game of the first series between the two, and now Cardinale here in the second game of the second series against the Kitsap Blue Jackets is 3 for 4 with 2 singles, 4 RBIs, and of course that home run that tied the ball game back in the sixth as he now takes a first pitch fastball right around the belt, called a strike, 0-1. 23 hits so far during the season surrendered by Matros, who's from Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Not a place I thought I'd be reading anytime soon, but definitely an interesting geographical location as now this breaking ball misses too high. A bluff by the catcher in order to get Zickafoos scampering back to the bag, and the count's 1-1. 6 foot, 195-pound right-hander. Was a freshman last year at Ouachita Baptist University as he now bends a strike up the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Cardinale, in fact, hit that home run in a 2-2 count, singled in his second at-bat, I should say, in the third in a full count. So very familiar with 2-strike approaches as he now fights this one off over to the right side. Was a bit out in front of that curveball, but still able to foul it off, spoil the pitch, and the count remains. Matros pitched twice against Gresham, had 2 scoreless innings, went a total of 8 batters, so faced 1 over the minimum in each inning. No hits allowed, 1 walk. So similar to this one right here is now the pitch, and the runner takes off a ground ball through the left side, and that's going to get past the third baseman Stronach into left field. So Zickafoos was off on the pitch, and Cardinale, I mean, when you're hot, you're hot. Because he was so far out in front of that curveball, almost stumbled getting out of the right-hander's batter's box, but still was able to use the power he has to collect his 4th hit of the night. So the second game of each of these series has certainly been kind to Mark Cardinale. Went 4 for 4 in the first time up in Kitsap back on the 19th of June. 2 triples, 4 RBIs in that game. And now 4 for 5 here tonight in the second game of the second series between the Blue Jackets, as he has himself 3 singles and 4 RBIs thanks to a 3-run home run. And so now with a runner in scoring position, also a man on first, it'll be Josh Adams, who, if there was a time for him to break out, now would be it. Currently 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, both of them swinging. And is surely going to get himself a pitch to hit here against Matros. As the first one on the way, a backdoor slider can't quite get the call. Not pleased with that as Matros, but nonetheless ruled a ball 1. So Adams, who in the first game of this series went 0 for 3, although did have a walk, actually 0 for 2, as he now chops this one, a roller down the first base line. The catcher will field it, a high throw, and it is in time, and I can't believe it. It looked like the throw drew him off the bag, and that would have allowed Zickafoos to come in to score, who rounded third, easily would have made it, and nonetheless, Tim Gerkman calls Josh Adams out, who is running down the first base line, the foul line, can't believe it, and Barkis is going to have an earful there for Gerkman. I believe he might have missed one there. However, that will retire the side as the Gray Wolves unfortunately leave 2 on, 1 in scoring position as we head to the 9th inning here at Osland Field. The last opportunity possibly for Kitsap coming to the plate in the form of Alec Cheney, Jake Stronach, and Daniel Lopez when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live. It's Kitsap 8, Gresham 8. We're going to the 9th.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
And so now we enter the top of the ninth inning. Carter Book on to try and keep this tied ball game 8-8 here as we enter the ninth, but after a bit of a controversial concluding to the bottom of the eighth inning for Gresham with runners on second and first and 2 outs. Josh Adams hit about a 5-foot tapper along the first base line, and the pitcher, J.F. Matros, collected it, underhand flipped it to the first baseman, and I thought that the throw drew him off the bag. He kind of jumped for it, and although about 6'4" with a good wingspan is now the first pitch on the way here from Book to the leadoff man. Cheney misses high. I thought that the throw took the first baseman off the bag, which would have allowed not only Adams to reach, but Zikafus, who with 2 outs was running all the way from second base, would have scored easily on the play as this one misses for ball 2. So an opportunity missed, not only by the Gresham Grey Wolves, but I believe also by the field umpire Tim Gerkman, as this one is fouled back off the screen for strike 1. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite Gresham, as Book will try and keep throwing up zeros. So far, he has thrown 4 1/3 innings, I believe. 3 1/3, in fact, of scoreless baseball, as this one is flied down the right field line, but out of the range there of the second baseman or right fielder Barkis and Mitchell Jr. So that'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So all tied at 8. 5 runs scored in the top of the second for Kitsap. Gresham responded with 1 in the bottom of the third, and then got 4 more to tie the ball game in the bottom of the fourth, to which Kitsap fired back with 3 more in the top of the fifth. And finally in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 3-run home run off the bat of Mark Cardinale has presented us with the current score at 8-all. And now a swing and a miss, backdoor breaking ball, can't quite catch it, did Cheney, and he's down on strikes here. Carter Book has now fanned 2 batters as he got Clevahea to end the 8th inning and now starts off the 9th with a strikeout swinging. And Cheney will head back to the dugout, now 1 away here for Jake Stronach. Stronach currently 2 runs scored, 1 for 4, as he reached on an error back in the second and now takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner here, 0-1. Reached on an error in the second, scored there. Reached on a single in the 5th, scored there as well. As he now slaps this one the other way, going to get out into the parking lot over here on our left side of the broadcast booth, 0-2. So it appears that Jeremy Smith, it looks like a right-hander throwing in the bullpen. Michael Clark was warming up earlier, but not going to be coming in unless the Grey Wolves have the lead. As now the 0-2, a ground ball softly up the middle, on the run. Barkis throw to first base, but not in time, and up the line there, but not allowing the runner to get there is the catcher Cairo. He was sprinting up to back up that play. So a nice job there from Cairo to prevent Stronach from getting to second base, and we'll wait for the official call. Going to be an infield single. I certainly would agree with that. Barkis was on the move with his momentum going away from the first base bag, and even if the throw was on the target, not sure it would have got the speedy leadoff man Stronach. So nonetheless, 1 away. That's the first hit that Book has allowed so far in his now 3 and 2/3 innings. Has given up 2 walks, so total now of 3 base runners, just over 3 innings. So now Daniel Lopez will come to the plate. He had a couple of base hits early on, has since gone cold, so currently 2 for 4 as he grounded out and flew out in the 5th and the 7th innings, as now Book buries a changeup low in the dirt, blocked by Cairo. And actually, that's been something I've been paying attention to throughout this ballgame, especially with the way that Cairo performed in the last series here against Corvallis. Didn't have his best game, had a couple of pass balls, as well as allowed some wild pitches that I think he would even say that he should have blocked. And a nice frame there by Cairo, gets the call in the inside corner here, 1-1. So a good sign here from the backstop for Gresham. Cairo has already thrown out 1 runner here tonight, and we know about that strong arm. Because against Corvallis, I believe 4 base runners were able to take bases, if not more. And now a drag bunt attempt down the third base line, but it will kick foul out beyond the chalk, picked up by Zikafus, and that'll go for strike 2. So a good sign here tonight to see Cairo back in tip-top shape and good defensive form behind the plate, able to keep nearly every single ball that has been in the dirt in front of him. And just one wild pitch that I can recall. That came back in, I believe it was, in fact, the inning where Boot came in. Yes, the 6th, or rather the 5th inning. Boot came in for the last out of that, and the first pitch he threw was a wild pitch that was surely not Cairo's fault. So nonetheless, 1-2 on the way, and it is roped into left field, going to get down for a base hit. A nice swing right there from Daniel Lopez, pulling the hands in and able to produce a base knock. So back-to-back singles here with 1 out for Kitsap, puts a runner in scoring position. And now the 3-batter Luke Stamfield will step in. That's the 3rd hit of the night for Daniel Lopez, and the 14th, actually probably now 15th, for Kitsap. And so Luke Stamfield, who has 2 hits himself, will now come to the plate. Also a run scored as he's 2 for 4, and now it appears we'll have a pitching change as Carter Book has pitched masterfully so far here tonight, but will give way to the bullpen. It will be Michael Clark, the right-hander, coming on when we return after this pitching change and a quick break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. I'm Evan McGinnings. Don't go anywhere.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Bum ba da dum da da dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
And so Michael Clark, the usual closer on the mound for Gresham, Justin Barkas understanding with a chance to not only win the series right here in this ballgame, but also climb atop the first place standings here in the South Division of the West Coast League should they get a win here tonight. A dire situation calls for a dire pitcher, and the first pitch fastball blown by the hitter Luke Stamfeld from Michael Clark. and certainly a gifted arm, a flamethrower, if you will. High 80s to low 90s coming from that right arm of Michael Clark, purely from the stretch as he comes in with a runner on second and first and one out. So the 0-1 on the way. Another fastball chopped over to the left side and foul here, 0-2. So Barkus going to his closer, looking to give his chance a team to win in walk-off fashion. They'll have to do it in order to get a victory here, whether it be in the bottom of the ninth or going into extras. Hopefully try and get it done there in this next frame. But first things first, got to keep the Blue Jackets off the board here. 8-8, all tied. As the go-ahead run stands on second base, now the 0-2. Slider, high and outside, misses. Ball one here to Stanfill. So Clark, after coming on a bit late, about a week and a half before the end of the first half of the season, making his 12th appearance, 17 2/3 innings, 3.56 earned run average, but over his last 5 starts, or 5 appearances, I should say, has not allowed an earned run as he now fires in a slider, check swing to the field umpire, Tim Gurkman, and he did not go around. So that'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like I said, 17 2/3 innings pitched so far, 16 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 12 hits surrendered, or rather 10 walks, excuse me. However, like I said, his last 5 outings has not allowed an earned run. Wenatchee, Victoria twice, and Corvallis twice, as he picked up 4 saves in 4 opportunities against those 3 ball clubs, as he now fires this one, roped down the left field line, but kicking foul. That one hooked right over the head of the third base and head coach, Matt Cartwright. Took a double take on that one. Nonetheless, the count will remain pat. So Clark's certainly a guy that can come in and produce strikeouts. He's had a couple of multi-K performances, and in fact, ever since his first appearance back on June 19th against the Kelowna Falcons, he has recorded a strikeout in every single one of his appearances since that point. 10 in a row, the streak going, and looking to make it 11 right here as he now fires in a fastball just off the outside edge. Cairo, a nice frame, could not get the call, and that will run the count full. Has not picked up a win or a loss so far in the season as Clark. But we'll have to refocus here. Kind of shook his head after that last call. And a guy that on the mound certainly is all business, but off the field a bit of a jokester along with his late-night counterpart, Carter Book, who we saw early on in this game, pitched beautifully, giving way to his buddy, is now the 3-2 on the way, and it is hooked down the third baseline foul. So we'll do it again here as Clark came inside with a fastball. Stanfill found barrel, but could not keep it fair. So now in a 3-ball, 2-strike count, we'll see what Clark will utilize here as we're in the top of the 9th inning. Last chance to dance for both teams. There's a payoff pitch on the way. Ground ball to third baseman Zikafus. He'll go to the bag, try and turn 2 across the diamond, but not in time as Stanfill beats it. So a nice play made there by the third baseman Zikafus, and the right play to go to third base to get the force out. So at the very least, keeping runners on second and first. But Stonock will head back to the dugout as the 5 unassisted has him retired, and now there's 2 outs here in this top of the 9th inning with the designated hitter, Joey Galeno, coming to the plate. He's got a pair of hits himself, also a pair of runs. A single and a double so far as he is 2 for 4. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball right at the knees, 0-1. A pop out back in the 7th, also a line out to the center fielder Perrin. A nice play, nice leaping grab made there by the newest Grey Wolves center fielder back in the 3rd. Now the 0-1 pitch coming. Fastball over the outside corner, just missed. As that one was also probably a little bit below the knees there. Nonetheless, we'll even up the count at a ball and a strike. Clark not even paying much attention to the runner on second base there, Lopez. Shortstop Doherty trying to keep him on. Barkus, the second baseman, stays home. And now the 1-1 on the way. Fastball in the inside corner, strike 2. So Michael Clark 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam after inducing a fielder's choice from the second baseman Stanfield. Now 1 strike away from retiring Joey Galeno. We'll see what he goes to here as he comes set at the belt. Checks the runner at second. Now kicks and fires. Fastball, ground ball over to the right side. And it kicks off the glove of Matheson into the right field corner. And that's going to bring the run in around from third. The throw down to home plate, and it is not in time. Cairo can't apply the tag, and that's going to be the go-ahead run from Danielle Lopez. A head-first slide, taking advantage of yet another error by the first baseman, Will Matheson. That's his second of the night as he was ate up by that ground ball. And unfortunate for the Gresham Gray Wolves, as that error brings in the go-ahead run, now a 9-8 lead here in the top of the ninth. So Lopez, he scores from second base. Stanfill up to second base now as he replaces him, and Galeno over to first on the E3. So now that will bring Martin Powles up to the plate, who takes the first pitch, swing and a miss on a slider down and away here, 0-1. Now Powles has struggled mightily not only in this game but throughout this series, currently 0 for 8, as half of those at-bats have gone for outs so far tonight. Couple of strikeouts as well in this game. Also a couple of lineouts, one of them as a double play, is now a breaking ball buried in the dirt, doesn't chase, and blocked by Cairo nicely here, 1-1. So defense, unfortunately, the Achilles heel so far, or at least it appears for Gresham. A total now of 3 unearned runs out of the 9 that have come across. So Clark now trying to let that be all that they can get. Now a fake bluff back to second base, a turn on the pickoff move, but nobody was home. So Stanfill on second, now Galeno on first. As Lopez has come in to score to break this tie here at Osland Field. And now the pitch, fastball low, gloved by Cairo, but called ball 2. Clark trying to get it done himself in this situation, and Powell's likewise trying to allow the next man up on deck there, Justin Bundy, to come to the plate. So the pitch, a check swing, doesn't matter, fastball on the outside edge, right there at the knees, and it's 2-2. As there's now 16 hits up on the board there for the Blue Jackets, 2 errors apiece, although you could argue the 2 errors, both for the first baseman Matheson, looming the largest in this ball game, is now a slider fly ball down the right field line. Drifting into foul territory is Mitchell Jr. He's giving chase, and he will make the catch just in front of the right field fence, down that foul line, and that will retire the side. So unfortunately, an error from Matheson brings in Lopez to break the tie here, 9-8, as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance here for the Gray Wolves, as it'll be up to Mitchell Jr., Matheson himself, Curtis Perrin. When we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live, I'm Evan Giddings, and you don't want to go anywhere for this one.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
And so now Jeff Mitchell Jr., the right-handed right fielder, will step to the plate for the Gresham Gray Wolves here in the bottom of the 9th as he takes a first pitch hack and fouls this one off the screen here, 0-1. After in the top half of this frame, the Kitsap Blue Jackets took the lead. A couple of singles set the stage, and then an error, a costly error, off the glove of Will Matheson as this one is delivered low here from JF Matros, looking to record his first the second save of the season. Nonetheless, a costly error off the glove of Will Matheson at first base allowed Daniel Lopez to come around from second and score, as now a drag bunt attempt goes wrong here as it fouls off to the third base side of the chalk. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Mitchell Jr. So there's an error back also in the second inning that allowed 2 more Blue Jackets to come across the score that was essentially the fault of Matheson. So just an unfortunate game defensively for him, especially as this one is now popped up out of play. Count remains 1-2. Unfortunate because he had really a pretty solid day, I thought, all around at the plate, especially. Had a home run, his first of his college career as he was a high schooler coming in, as Mitchell Jr. flies this one up into right center field, hanging up there, going to be playable for the center fielder Adams, and he'll drift over, call off Bundy, and make the catch. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th, as Will Matheson now will step in, looking to atone for 2 of his mistakes that have cost the Gray Wolves 3 runs here, and looking back on this ball game. He's 1 for 4, but had that home run that really kick-started the offense for Gresham, allowed them to also plate 2 more runs in that 4th inning that ended up tying the ball game. So while he's allowed 3 defensively, he has made up for it as he now takes a big swing and a miss, fouled this one back off the screen. That's 0-1. And now, so Matheson with 2 RBIs so far tonight. And in fact, that home run came in a full count as the 0-1 now. Big breaking ball, swing and a miss there. Definitely caught nothing but air that time, and it's 0-2. So Matheson down to his last strike, and have to shorten up here. Matros working quickly from the windup. Big breaking ball low in the dirt, blocked, and did not bite, did Matheson, as he takes ball 1. So now Matros again, the 1-2 on the way, and a fastball grounded towards the third base line, and it is going to be foul. Right past the bag over there. Count stands pat. So Matheson is in his 16th appearance, and in fact, a lot of his at-bats have come in pinch hit situations like this, so very familiar with being up in the 9th inning. As he grounds this one through the left side, that's going to get in for a base hit. The tying run is aboard here with 1 out, as Will Matheson, who had some trouble in the defensive side of the inning, the top half of the frame, possibly kickstart something here for the Gray Wolves in the bottom. As now Curtis Perrin will come up with 1 out, runner on first base. It appears that we're going to have a pinch hitter on deck at the very least, and also a pinch runner here. So we'll see who that is. And it is Ryan Smith. So the Ironman streak, in fact, is not ended today. Did not start, however, still made an appearance as he'll come in and pinch run. Of course, Ryan Smith with plenty of speed. It appeared that, at least from what I heard, he had a bum shoulder coming into this game, so got the night off. Hopefully we'll see him tomorrow night. Hopefully for an opportunity for the Gray Wolves to go and get a sweep. So nonetheless, Smith on first, and Perrin takes the first pitch fastball here in for a strike right through the heart, 0-1. Now Perrin's 0-2 with a couple of strikeouts, but in true Perrin fashion, also a couple of walks. There's now the 0-1 on the way, and that is fought off to the left side, going to get out into the bullpen there of the Gresham Gray Wolves, and it's quickly 0-2. And so Matros actually going for his first save. So check that. That was Garrett Smith, the previous reliever who had 1 save himself. Matros in a big situation right here as he now fires off the backstop. That one kicked far off the screen, not even close to the strike zone, as that will allow Ryan Smith to go to second base on the wild pitch. Also going to be ball 1 here to Perrin, but now a runner in scoring position. So even if Perrin can't get the job done, the Gray Wolves nonetheless will be 1 swing away, likely from plating Smith, who can absolutely fly. It appears that they're bringing the outfield in a little bit now, as also a quick chat being had between the shortstop Lopez, along with Matros and Clevahea. But like I was saying, the outfield brought in, likely trying to stop that run, and anything over their head would definitely tie the ball game. Can't play no doubles at this point, as Justin Bundy, Adams, and Alec Cheney are all now in. As the 1-2 on the way, and it is fought off beyond our heads here out in the Gray Wolf den in the broadcast booth here, 1-2. So with that base knock off the bat of Matheson, that officially breaks the Gray Wolves into double digits. 10 base knocks here as Perrin will look for one here and instead will take ball 3 just off the outside edge. And that'll even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes in a 9-8 ball game. 1 run here in the top of the 9th. All they need is 1 run here in the bottom to tie this ball game, and now we'll need just 1 ball here to work ball 4 as Curtis Perrin takes ball 3 here too low and inside. It looks like Jack Johnson, the man awaiting on deck, so he'll be pinch hitting for Jordan Barkus. Certainly can play up the middle as the payoff pitch now on the way. Runner on the move as this one is slapped down the left field line and gonna slice foul. So Curtis Perrin working a full count. He worked a walk in a full count back in the 5th inning and has seen a total of over 20 pitches tonight. Perrin with a great eye and such a tough out at the plate. As Matros has his sign of the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball inside corner, ring him up. Strike 3 called. Perrin can't believe it as he tosses bat towards the dugout and now slams his bat on the ground. Cannot believe the call. And going to get a warning here from the home plate umpire, I believe, as he goes to his notepad or whatever type of pad he has to jot down. And it also appears that now Matt Cartwright is going to go out and at the very least have a chat here with J.F. Matros. There is a reliever down there in the bullpen, looks like a right-hander, but can't quite get the number. However, nonetheless, Jack Johnson will come in. So that'll conclude the night of Jordan Barkus, who was 1 for 3, grounded into a double play, also had a single and a run scored, as well as a pop-out to the second baseman back in the 2nd inning. And so they are going to stick with Matros. It appears as Cartwright will head back to the plate. And Courtney, the home plate umpire, has obviously made the note in his book. Not really holding much weight at this point, especially with this possibly being the last out coming to the plate. But Perrin is going to get a warning from the home plate umpire, Jim Courtney. And Jack Johnson now will prepare to step in against Matros. Johnson on the season, .239 batting average, 26 hits through 109 at-bats, making his 33rd appearance. The first pitch on the way to him is a breaking ball right through the middle of the plate here, 0-1. It's tied for the team lead with 2 home runs with Josh Adams, and now the new member of that club, Mark Cardinelli, hit a 3-run bomb to tie the game earlier as he now swings and misses. Tipped off the glove there as it squirts away, now collected by Kaleo. Nonetheless, 0-2 here to Jack Johnson as the Grey Wolves are down to their final strike. Ryan Smith representing the tying run on second base. Johnson with 11 ribbies himself. Will try to get the job done here. So Matros now coming set. Will step off the rubber and wipe his brow there. Now retoes it from the first base side. Johnson steps back in. Righty on righty matchup here. Third baseman hugging the line as well as first base in the 0-2. Curveball chopper down the third base line, but going to kick foul. Caught by Justin Barkus over there. As we'll do it again here, 0-2. Curtis Perrin, the previous batter, was able to work himself out of an 0-2 count before eventually falling, going down looking in the 8th pitch of that at-bat. So Johnson will surely have to shorten up here. Again, 0-2 on the way. Curveball on the outside corner. Ring him up. And Jack Johnson can't believe it. Neither can Barkus, and neither can the Grey Wolves, as the Kitsap Blue Jackets steal one here at Osland Field in the 2nd game of this series. Now, we knew they were dangerous coming into the game, an 8-6 second game of series record throughout this year, and this is certainly the best baseball that they played on this particular day within now the 15 series, as they get a 9-8 victory here against the Gresham Grey Wolves, who are stunned. So hopefully that can light a fire under Gresham as they come back tomorrow for the rubber match. 7:05 start time between the Grey Wolves and the Blue Jackets here at Osland Field. So quickly wrapping it up in the 9-8 victory, the Blue Jackets struck first with 5 as Galeno doubled to start off the inning. Bundy with 1 out single, then a 3-run home run by Taylor Adams gave them a 3-0 lead. Then with 2 outs, Cheney started a bit of a rally with a double, and after an error from Will Matheson, the first baseman, Jake Stronach, was allowed to reach. Then Daniel Lopez doubled in 2 more runs, giving them a 5-0 lead after 2. And going into the bottom of the 3rd inning for Gresham, Zikafus with 2 outs, reached on an error by the second baseman, and then advanced on a wild pitch to second base, to which Cardinale singled him in to score the first run of the ball game for Gresham. Fast forward to the bottom of the fourth inning. In the next frame, when Jeff Mitchell Jr. started things off with a single, Will Matheson went deep for the first time this season to bring him within 2. And they scored 2 more runs as Barkis singled, Cairo walked, Dylan Doherty got on from an error from the first baseman Powles, then Zikafu singled, Cardinale singled, and a wild pitch allowed another runner to come in. So they tied the ball game at 5 there after 4. Then at the top of the 5th, the Kitsap Blue Jackets responded. 4 hits in that inning led to 3 runs as Galeno, Stamfeld, and Stronach all came around to score to give them an 8-5 lead. Then the Grey Wolves, it was their turn. Off the bat of one swing, Mark Cardinale hit a 3-run bomb out to left center field, a no-doubt shot that brought in him along with Zikafus and Doherty to tie the ball game. And then unfortunately in the 9th inning, Carter Book allowed back-to-back singles. Unfortunately, will get tagged with the loss for this game, but undeservedly so, as he allowed no earned runs. The only run that came in was because of an error from the first baseman Will Matheson that allowed Daniel Lopez to come across. 9-8 at that point, and 9-8 is the final scores. The Grey Wolves cannot muster anything. They put a runner in scoring position, the tying runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 9th, but cannot come through as J.F. Matros shuts the door with back-to-back strikeout looking to Curtis Perrin and Jack Johnson to complete the ball game. So that will do it for us here at Osland Field. I'm Evan Giddings on the campus at Mountain Hood Community College. You should be right back with us here tomorrow, a 7:05 start in the rubber match between the Gresham Grey Wolves looking for revenge after they lose one here 9-8 against the Kitsap Blue Jackets. So signing off here is Evan Giddings, and I'll wish you all a great rest